WMIX Sports. Welcome to Mount Vernon Rams football on WMIX and WMIXsports.com, where you can watch or listen from any device. Rams football on WMIX Sports is powered by the official voice of Rams Athletics, Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Rams football is also sponsored in part by the Medicine Shop of Mount Vernon, Ford Square and King City Chrysler. You can count on us. Red Lake College. Save thousands on your college education. Log on to rlc.edu. State Farm Insurance Agent Tony Wilk. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Second Chance Auto on Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Banchera Bank. Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a hospital. Raising the bar. Winning Edge. Schmidt Ford of Salem. And also by the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois. Landers Collision Centers of Mount Vernon and Salem. Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon. All Stars and Stitches. Central Christian Church. And People's National Bank. It's time to join Chris Hugo and Danny Czerwinski for Mount Vernon Rams football. From the Ford Square WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, the Landers Collision Center's pregame show starts now.
And good evening from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium tonight. The Mount Vernon Rams will close out the 2013 regular season, not only bound for the playoffs, but trying to knock off the undefeated Mount Carmel Golden Aces. Good evening once again. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Holly Carroll takes care of things back in our Mount Vernon studios on WMIX AM and FM tonight. Jeff Crow provides the video angles on WMIXsports.com. For our AM 940 listeners, obviously you've been here for the past 8 weeks. Know the Rams are 5-3, headed for the postseason next week. But for those of you on 94.1 FM this week, World Series took the night off for the Mount Vernon Rams tonight. So glad you could join us. Of course, don't forget to give us a follow on Twitter at WMIX Sports. We have a Facebook page for your pleasure as well at facebook.com/WMIX Sports. And of course, we have a scoreboard, video highlights, schedules, and more located at WMIXsports.com. Again, Danny Czerwinski alongside. So glad we can be here tonight. It's going to be a chilly night in the King City, but for the Mount Vernon Rams, they have a chance to knock off a team they haven't beaten their past 6 tries.
Well, the past 6 tries since 1996. They haven't played every year, obviously. It's only 6 games since then. Mount Carmel's dominated the last couple of years. One here in Mount Vernon, one at Mount Carmel last year. This game means a lot, both to Mount Carmel, 8-0, looking at a very tough Class 3A bracket with the likes of probably Greenville, Carterville themselves, among others, in the top 3 or 4 spots in the Southern Illinois quadrant, or 16 teams. And Mount Vernon needs a win. Get to 6-3 and improve your seed. Maybe you can get out of that 8 seed in somewhere and maybe get to a 7 or even a 6 if you can win here tonight at home.
Of course, this is your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Big or small, Landers fixes them all, and now they detail them all as well. Give them a call at 1-888-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS. Now, new expanded collision centers in both Mount Vernon and Salem. We'll talk with Mount Vernon Rams head football coach Jared Shaner. We'll talk about last week's 37-7 victory over the Central Orphans. We also preview tonight's contest. It's the Mount Vernon Rams and the Mount Carmel Golden Aces coming up on 94.1 FM and AM 940. Stay tuned. We'll take a break. This is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One Account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
We've all had dreams of being king or queen. Now's your chance. Hi, Roy Schmidt, Lincoln dealer at Ford Square, Mount Vernon. The 2013 Lincoln MKX makes the perfect throne. With all of its splendor and majesty, the 2013 Lincoln MKX continues to be the king of the crossovers. With heated and cool front seats, panoramic vista roof, and available ambient lighting, you'll wish you would have been driving the MKX sooner. It truly is fit for a king and queen. Drive away in brand new luxury when you trade in any 1995 or newer vehicle and pay only $35,625 plus tax, title, and destination on a 2013 Lincoln MKX. With this amazing deal, our remaining selections won't last. Hurry and see one of our sales associates at Ford Square, Mount Vernon, or view our selection of Lincoln Luxury online at FordSquare.com and find us on Facebook.
This is Bree Haskell from Community First Bank. You're listening to the Rams on WMIX.
Welcome back to the Landers Collision Center's pregame show, WMIX and WMIX FM. That's where we are the rest of the way as the Mount Vernon Rams football team is playoff bound. Of course, time for our weekly interview with Mount Vernon Rams football coach Jared Shannon. We'll talk about last week's 37-7 win over the Centralia Orphans. We will also talk about tonight's game with the Mount Carmel Golden Aces. Of course, Coach, it was a big win on homecoming night at Centralia last week. Of course, a 37-7 win. Coming off of a big win against your rival, also becoming eligible for the playoffs, how do you feel?
Well, it's definitely a good feeling. We've, in terms of wins and losses, struggled the last couple of years, and to get that fifth win and, head into the game against Mount Carmel and then on into the playoffs, the kids are excited and coaches, and I think everybody around is excited.
Of course, that game to get you there, not only was it key on the schedule, it was just key in terms of feeling. Centralia brought a great crowd, Mount Vernon brought a great crowd on Friday night, and when you take a look at how that went, a 7-0 lead for the Orphans to start, then shutting them out the rest of the way for the remaining. I think it took them 5 minutes to score that first touchdown. The rest of the way, I believe 43 minutes of football, Rams defense were able to shut them down. Have to feel pretty good about that defensive effort.
Yeah, I thought our kids really settled down after that first drive and started to make some plays. And like you said, it just really worked out. It was the most disappointed I've been all year was our Cahokia game. We could have got win 5 there, and afterwards we just told the kids, you know what, you got to turn a negative into a positive, and what a better way than to go to your rival Centralia on their homecoming and beat them and get a fifth win, and it just happened to work out exactly like that. So it was a fun atmosphere, like you said. There was a great crowd, and I couldn't have scripted it much better than that.
And then offensively, of course, 37 points in the victory, and I think back to some key performances that night. Not only was the offensive line seemingly very strong as they have been all season long, but you get a couple of big rushes again for the Montez Miller-Gray, who gets over 1,000 yards for the season. Has to make you feel pretty good to have a 1,000-yard rusher out of the backfield.
Absolutely. Montez has done a great job for us this year, and you mentioned the offensive line and those guys. And I think one of the other keys is just the other skill positions have blocked a lot better than what they have in the past. They're starting to take a little pride in that. And basically they're starting to understand that, you got to be unselfish. You got to play hard without the football, and one guy gets to run it every down, and then the other 10 got to do their jobs. And but Montez is a pretty special kid. He's having a great season for us. I hope it continues.
Of course, the injuries have kind of taken its toll on your running back core, but still strong as Graham Hempkin as a fullback. You also have C.J. Lloyd, who has been very strong as a running back as well in recent weeks. Has to also make you feel a little bit more confident knowing that behind your 1,000-yard rusher, you have two guys that are very effective at what they do, just may not get a lot of ink.
Well, you're exactly right. I think that's kind of the beauty of it is that, C.J. Lloyd missed a few games, some injury earlier in the year, but he got some time as a sophomore and then played last year as a junior running back for us. Back as a senior, very capable kid, got some good speed, and has really played well the last couple of weeks. And then our fullback, Graham Hankins, is just kind of a pretty typical football kid, I guess. Loves the weight room, just hard-nosed, kind of no-nonsense, runs straight ahead. And, Graham's pretty consistent for 3, 4, 5 yards, and once in a while he might get 8 or 9, and it's nice to know that, teams can't just load up against the Montez, and there's some other alternatives that we have.
Of course, Dylan Reeves also made a couple of great finds on Friday for touchdowns. The Montez up the middle for 50 yards, of course, from going right to left as we were looking at it from our vantage point. But I probably thought the play of the game, and maybe a play that even sealed it from a confidence standpoint, was a pass toward, from the radio perspective, the home team perspective, from the near side to the far side. I believe it was Doug Gardner coming up with it. Had to come off the back foot, come back to get it, and a play that probably should have been an interception, to be honest. It had the member of the Centralia secondary played it just a little bit better from that angle, but Doug came up with a big catch, was able to get a score from it, and I really thought that was the play that kind of sealed things.
there was a big score. I think that was maybe late in the third, and you're exactly right. It was Doug coming back to it. Ball was a little underthrown and inside, and Doug just played it well. And then broke a tackle and finished with about a 25-yard run after the catch for a touchdown. And I thought that was the one that kind of take a little deep breath and say, okay, I think we're good now. Defense has been playing good. We're up a few scores, and that was a big play.
Of course, I know you guys were after the win, and you probably had a chance to celebrate briefly and talk about it on the field, but you have to get right back to work against a team coming in, the Mount Carmel Golden Aces, undefeated on the season. Is there an intimidating factor about a team coming in undefeated?
I don't think so. I think there's a respect factor, that's for sure, but I don't think it's intimidation. I don't think our kids look at it that way. They're just a good football team and a good football program. Their history goes back a long way, and they've had some great football teams, and I think it's another one. But we'll come out and hopefully compete well with them. I'm excited about the game.
Well, and the Mount Carmel team again undefeated out of the Big 8 Conference, but a game that has been a hard-fought battle many times between the Golden Aces and the Rams. And taking a look at the 2013 version of Golden Aces football, I'm told they're fairly athletic. Again, they're big. Basically just a team synonymous with Mount Carmel. Is that what you're seeing on film?
Yeah, it is. Just even from on film, you can tell, and then looking at the roster, their kids put a lot of time in the weight room. Their skill kids are pretty impressive size-wise. They've got a lot of kids that touch the ball that are around that 6 foot, 6'1", 200, 205, 210-pound mark. So they're big, strong kids. I think the two things that really stand out, I think, when you watch a Mount Carmel team are how disciplined they are and how hard they play. And that's a credit to, their coaching staff and, again, their tradition. And the things get handed down from class to class and players to players. They play very hard. They don't ever quit. And their kids always seem to be in the right position.
Well, I think that's a testament to just the program that's been built up over Mount Carmel over time and the success of Golden Ace football. Is that kind of a benchmark for where you eventually hope that this program will be, the Mount Vernon Rams?
Well, I sure hope so. One of the things that when I got here that I brought, I found somewhere along the way was our TNTs, and those are things that take no talent. And those are a couple of them right there. Just playing hard down after down doesn't take any talent. You don't have to be big or fast or strong in order to do that. Taking care of the football, which they do pretty well. Just being physical, and I think they do a lot of the things that I hope we're taking steps in the right direction to get our football program there.
On a football program that sits 5-3 right now, looking for win number 6 tonight. This is your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. We're talking to Mount Vernon Rams football coach Jared Shaner, of course, about tonight's game. Senior night here at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Of course, a big night, not only for your seniors. I know it's a young team, but I can think of quite a few seniors that are still on the roster, and nothing tops senior night. I know the Rams would love to start off with a victory. What can the Rams do tonight, of course, to get that big victory over the Golden Aces?
Well, I think one of the things we have to do is just match their physicality. They play hard every down. When you get a team like that, if you take downs off, it'll eventually catch up to you. It'll end up in big plays one way or the other, either giving them up on defense or allowing them to create them when we're on offense. So I think just matching their physicality and playing hard down after down. And then obviously, just some of the basics is we've got to eliminate big plays from them. They've got a really good quarterback with some nice solid receivers. And we've got to eliminate those big plays and then take care of the ball when we're on offense.
Perfect. Of course, the Rams and the Golden Aces tonight coming up here in just a moment. But one more thing, of course, before we end this. It's odd not asking you a WMIX Sports social media question right now, but the thing that I'm kind of curious about, you've had a few more days for it to set in. Does it feel any different? Does it feel any sweeter, any better that the Mount Vernon Rams are definitely headed to the playoffs?
You know what? I haven't given myself a real long time to think about it. We've been focused on Mount Carmel and how we can get win 6 and go in 6-3 instead of 5-4. I think tomorrow night we're having a little playoff pairings party with the kids. I think and I hope that maybe it really sets in when we see our name up there, come up on the screen from the IHSA. I just think it'll be pretty emotional. I think it'll be fun. It'll be exciting. But just to have a few minutes to reflect back and think of all the time and hard work and dedication that countless people have put in, and myself included. Coming here a few years ago and really just picking up and moving to a place that I had never been to before and bringing my family here. So I think all those things. I think tomorrow night will probably be the night that it maybe hits me a little bit.
There we go, Coach. Best of luck to the Rams tonight. Get win number 6. We'll talk about it again tomorrow on the Saturday Sports Show.
That sounds great. Thanks for having me.
That was Jared Shaner talking about last week's 37-7 win over the Centralia Orphans. Also, we talked about tonight's game with the Mount Carmel Golden Aces. Speaking of which, it's coming up at 7 o'clock here on WMIX and WMIX FM. Don't forget you can watch games online at WMIXsports.com. We'll take a break on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. Don't forget, big or small, Landers fixes them all. 1-888-LANDERS. Expanded centers now in Mount Vernon and Salem. This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports.
I'm meteorologist Dave Bowers. We'll look at your next ride weather. Clearing and cold tonight with a freeze. Low temperature near the record of 25. Last reached in 1999. Tomorrow bright and sunny, but still cool. High 52. Clear and cold tomorrow night, low 31 to 35. Saturday, sunny to partly cloudy. A warmer afternoon with a high 65. And then on Sunday, partly sunny, high 54 to 58. Next ride weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
The tradition of fine vehicles and great service continues at Second Chance Auto. They've been providing quality cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs for families like yours for over 33 years, and many are priced under $10,000. Plus, most have a 3-month or 3,000-mile warranty. Bank rate financing available with instant approval. No gimmicks, no pressure, just honest deals on great vehicles from your friends and neighbors at Second Chance Auto, living and contributing back to the community they serve. Located on Route 142 East in Mount Vernon, call 244-4582.
Too expensive to get back into shape? Not anymore. Ren Lake College's new fitness center is only $53 per semester. They've also thought of everything with universal machines, free weights, treadmills with dedicated TV screens, ellipticals, and more. Qualified dance instructors are also available. Or go at your own pace with DVDs that can be used in the exercise room. Best of all, it's open 7 days a week. Check out the Ren Lake College Fitness Center in the Marketplace off Potomac Boulevard in Mount Vernon. Or log on to renlakecollege.edu/fitcenter.
Streaming worldwide at WMIXsports.com. This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Glad to have you with us from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. It is senior night tonight as the Mount Vernon Rams tackle the Mount Carmel Golden Aces to conclude the regular season. Next week, the Rams will head to the playoffs with win number 5. There are some teams in Southern Illinois that could affect just where some of these other teams go in terms of classes. But, of course, it is going to be a busy night of high school football. Keep tuned right here. We'll keep you updated on scores from around the area tonight. Of course, we focus on this matchup between the Mount Vernon Rams, who are 5-3, and the Mount Carmel Golden Aces, who are 8-0 on the season. And you take a look at the Golden Aces and this rivalry with the Rams, and the Rams still seeking a win since 1996, though they did take a few years off.
Yeah, and the series is going to take another few years off, probably after next year, if not this year, depending on what teams can find out and where. This is a game where Mount Carmel has done a lot of good things in the last 6 times they have played Mount Vernon, even against some very good Mount Vernon football teams. Of course, Mount Carmel's football tradition very steep, even though they only have one state championship in 81. Several deep trips to the playoffs. They had that long playoff streak snapped a few years back. They've blended the turf both at Bloomington and Champaign in recent years, getting second place. So this is a program that is getting ready to, again, be 8-0. They're looking for a 9th one. And on their side, you talk about playoffs and the pairings that come out tomorrow night, you got to be ready to go in Class 3A, and that's where Mount Carmel more than likely will be. They could be with a Greenville, a Carterville, both be undefeated, along with some other very tough 3A schools. and people are thinking, well, this game means nothing to them at 8. No, this game means a lot to them as far as trying to get the highest seed possible they can in what could be a very outstanding quadrant or 16 team, depending on what the IHSA does in Class 3A.
Well, after some years in 4A, the Golden Aces look to be a solid 3A team, but you take a look at some other teams that could have an impact should they be able to get in. There are a lot of teams in Southern Illinois seeking win number 4 tonight. I can think of Althoff. I can think you just tweeted on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Althoff, Pinckneyville, Benton,
Harrisburg, Carbondale, Centralia. You throw in Benton has a great opportunity tonight. Murfreesboro has an opportunity tonight. Pinckneyville has an opportunity tonight with DuPo. But the problem with Pinckneyville and Murfreesboro is they could win the night and have everything fall exactly the way they want to playoff point-wise, and they probably don't have enough points. They're in the low 30s trying to get in with 5 wins. Not only that, Murphy probably will beat DuQuoin or should beat DuQuoin tonight at home if everything goes for them the way they think. But Pinckneyville has to struggle against a DuPo team, and both those teams, Murphy and Pinckneyville, probably looking back, picking a game out as the season went round down. That's a game they should have won. That's a game they shouldn't have lost. That one right there, and that's what Pinckneyville and Murfreesboro have to have tonight. They have to win. They have to have everything go right in order for them to get in.
Well, and you take a look at some teams that could squash some other teams down, and we take a look now at 7A and 8A. You look at some Southwestern Conference schools that are 4-4 tonight. I believe Belleville East, Alton, and O'Fallon. O'Fallon has a tough one tonight, and all those teams have over 40 playoff points, would have a chance to get in. Waterloo could be a team that kind of has an impact as far as whether or not a Highland would get shifted up to 5A or stay in 4A. Waterloo has 43 playoff points tonight going into their crucial matchup. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting night of high school football.
And Harrisburg's at Carbondale tonight, and if the Bulldogs could win, that would be one less team, and people have to bump down with Carbondale being a 5A school. So you have all kinds of interesting scenarios, even tonight, for seeding-wise. If Marion were to win and Mount Vernon were to win or vice versa or whatever, those two teams could very likely see each other next week in Class 5A. Really, realistically, you're not going to know until 5 o'clock tomorrow where everybody's at as far as class goes, and then you're not going to know till after 8 o'clock because the IHSA has this phenomenal way of deciding if some classes need 1 through 8 quadrants, if they need to divide the state in half, 1 to 16, or in some places they go 1 to 32, especially in the upper classes, because all the schools are so concentrated in one area. To me, it should be standard. It should be a formula that's the same for everybody, but everybody has to wait until tomorrow night after 8 o'clock to find out exactly what the setup is.
Well, it'll be interesting. We will talk about it at length tomorrow on the Saturday Sports Show. 8:08 until 10 o'clock on AM 940, online at WMIXSports.com. We'll talk about all of that tomorrow. Of course, we need to slip out for a quick break on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show, AM 940, 94.1 FM, and WMIXSports.com. So glad you could join us here tonight. We'll take a break. This is Rams football, powered by Community First Bank.
High school sports are back, and your source for scores is WMIXSports.com. Also, find archived local sports broadcasts, video highlights, national sports headlines, and more right at your fingertips. Listen and watch live WMIX sports broadcasts from your desktop or any mobile device. Need a score? Want to see a sick dunk? Miss a game? Didn't get up in time for the Saturday sports show? That's right. It's all at WMIXSports.com. Another free service from Winners Broadcasting. WMIXSports.com. At Banterra, we understand that banking is a relationship. It's a friendly face that knows your name, understands your needs, supports your goals. Banterra offers a complete range of personal and business banking products with competitive rates and loans that range from small projects to multi-million-dollar opportunities. We offer conveniences such as online banking, mobile banking, and direct deposit. For a strong community bank with exceptional customer service, Banterra is a smart choice for your banking needs. Banterra Bank, a proud supporter of Southern Illinois high school sports. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
What does technology sound like? Is it the clang of heavy machinery, the beeps and chirps of an electronic gadget? At the new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center, technology sounds a little something like this.
It's the sound of a young girl excited because her mom's being released the same day as her minimally invasive surgery. Thanks to the Da Vinci surgical robot, our surgeon's hand motions are seamlessly translated into smaller, more precise movements. But surgery isn't the only way Good Samaritan is raising the bar for advanced healthcare in Southern Illinois.
That's the sound of a patient's health record being updated and stored electronically for immediate access by nurses, primary care doctors, and specialists alike. That's why soon, the new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center will use all electronic patient health records. Less paper translates to faster, better care for you. And that sounds a little something like this.
The new Good Samaritan Regional Health Center, raising a hospital, raising the bar.
find us on Facebook. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
WMIX, WMIXsports.com. That's AM and FM tonight, AM and FM the rest of the way. So glad you could join us. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski. Of course, we also have Jeff Crow bringing you the video angles at WMIXsports.com. And, of course, back at our Mount Vernon studios, it's Holly Carroll. So glad to have you tonight. Senior night as the Mount Vernon Rams battle the Mount Carmel Golden Aces. Crucial matchup for both teams. The Mount Vernon Rams hoping to get a higher seed with a 6th win. Mount Carmel, of course, hoping to roll to 9-0. And we talked about a cluster that could emerge in 3A with Greenville, Carterville, and Mount Carmel possibly at 9-0, depending upon what happens in Week 9 action. It is the final week of the regular season. We'll know who is headed where tomorrow night. We'll know times officially on Monday afternoon around 3 o'clock or probably close to the 5 o'clock hour when they can sneak out of the office upon posting them on the .org. But tonight, a lot of key wins, and of course, we take a look more in depth at the Mount Carmel Golden Aces of recent past. You take a look, when they first started this series, the Golden Aces came here in 11, when they, rejuvenated, had a renaissance, so to speak, of this series. The Golden Aces then went on to the playoffs and went on to a runner-up finish.
And back in 11, I stood in the end zone at DuQuoin in 10 when they made the semifinals and got beat by Illini West. They were a power team. They lined up. They basically pointed where they were going. They were a power football team in 10, and they just drove the football down people's throats that year and got to the semis. And as you mentioned, when Mount Vernon and Mount Carmel picked up this series in 2011, it was more of a pass team. They were starting to go to the spread, and that team, of course, got to the state finals and got beat in the state championship game. Last year's team, maybe not as good. They got beat in the first round in Class 4A last year when they had to bump up a class because, depending on enrollments, they go up and get beat out in the first round. So this team, like last year, going to the spread offense, it's a different style of Mount Carmel football than what a lot of traditional high school football fans are used to in the past 10, 20, 30 years. The Mount Carmel, usually more physical team, maybe this year, a lot more finesse on their side.
Of course, plenty coming up on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. We'll have your Central Christian Church starting lineups. We'll also check in with your keys to tonight's game. Of course, I have a feeling, hint, and maybe based on the mascot of Mount Carmel. Plenty more coming up on your Landers Collision Center's pregame show. We told you, Landers Collision Center's big or small. Landers fixes them all. 1-888-Landers. That's 1-888-Landers. Give them a call next time you need them. And it's senior night. They just finished up the honoring of the Mount Vernon Township High School seniors involved in cheerleading, band, and, of course, Rams football here tonight. We'll have your Rams report, speaking of which, of Ram Athletics. That'll come in the Second Chance Auto halftime show. We'll check in with Lady Rams tennis, Lady Rams volleyball, of course, running Rams cross country. Scholar Bowl makes an appearance this week. Underclass football makes an appearance. And, of course, we'll have your MVTHS minute as well. That'll all be in your Second Chance Auto halftime show. But all of that ahead, still plenty more to talk about here tonight. We kind of briefly mentioned some of the teams trying to sneak into the postseason, whether or not they have enough playoff points. Kind of looking at things are very cloudy with the playoff outlook as far as where teams could end in class, but it still looks again this year that you're going to have 5 wins and somewhere around the 40 playoff point mark.
I think the lower the 40, I think you can be at 38, 39, have a chance to get in the playoffs. You got to have the 5 wins. If you're the Benton Rangers, you're probably going to have enough points. They're going to get enough wins otherwise tonight in other places to get them to 38, 39, 40. The question is, can they beat Carlisle? They have to take care of business first with Carlisle. Talking to Jeremy Claudefelder up here in Mount Vernon today at the conference off of break, and he said, we can't worry about all the other scores around the state unless we take care of business. Then when we get on the bus, if we've won, then you can worry about it. I think that's where their mentality is. And on the flip side of that, you go to a Heron or an AJ. Heron's 6-2, AJ 7-1. AJ is going to be in that tough pool in 3A, more than likely with likes of Greenville, Mount Carmel, in that case. And you look at that and you go, wow, Carterville as well. They want to win. They want to get as high a seed as possible. Heron, being a 6-3 team in 4A, would be so much different than being 7-2 in 4A. 7-2, you might have a chance at a home game. So some schools that really need a win to get in, to get to 5 and have a chance. There's almost as many schools that need wins to bump their seeding and bump their rating as far as the rankings and seedings that'll come out tomorrow night after 8 o'clock.
Well, and of course, one thing you take a look at now, of course, would just be the sheer fact of when you're factoring in whom would go into which class. You have teams like Effingham that are trying to get win number 5 tonight as well. They're at Muhammad Seymour, who is 7-1. And you also take a look at, because they would be on a bubble of 4 and 5A. If Centralia were able to get in with a win over Mascoutah, who's 2-6, they would be kind of on the bubble of 4A and 5A. You have Highland, who would be on the bubble of 4A and 5A. Why are we concerned with that? Well, if those teams bump up to 5A, the odds of having to maybe travel to Springfield to take on SHG would be a little bit less likely. We'll see how that all works out. We'll let you know. We'll talk more about SHG in just a moment. We need to honor America from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Attention all Medicare Part
This
B
is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Center. Harvest time. This is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Center. Harvest time is approaching, and hunters are in their stands. What does this mean for you? Deer are running more frequently now. I hope we don't have to meet in the near future because of these creatures, but in the unfortunate chance you do find Mother Nature dancing onto your hood, you can be confident that Landers will be here to tend to you and your ride. And, as our specialty and main focus is collision repair alone, no one is more qualified to restore your vehicle back to its previous condition or better, and in the process, helping to retain its resale value. Every day we continue to set the standards for quality collision repair. Give us a chance to show you what we can do for you. Collision repair is what we know. We should be good at it. Again, this is Chase with Landers Collision Centers, where we offer only the best in collision repair. Come meet the staff, take a tour of our facility, and get to know the crew at Landers Collision Centers. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. Just give us a call, 1-888-LANDERS. That's 1-888-LANDERS.
Attention all Medicare Part D pharmacy patients. The annual enrollment period begins October 15th and ends December 7th. And the Medicine Shop Pharmacy is ready to help you. Stop by or call to make an appointment with Eric Black or Tracy Adams. They'll review your current prescription plan and help you manage your Medicare dollars. Here's pharmacist and pharmacy owner Eric Black.
What we offer to our patients is to sit down with them and answer questions that they may have about their medications, really with the end goal of being to maximize their dollars, because that's, after all, what patients really want. Take appointments, sit down with them, take as long as it takes to help them choose a plan that is effective at meeting their needs.
Remember, the good folks at the Medicine Shop Pharmacy are never too busy to take care of you. They look forward to understanding your health care needs and will focus on keeping you well. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
To call to make an appointment, call 618-242-8776. Back to Mount Vernon Rams football, powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland.
And we welcome you back on Senior Night at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Chris Hugo and Danny Czerwinski alongside WMIX FM. So glad you could join us here tonight. We'll get to your keys to tonight's game in just a moment. We talked about Sacred Heart Griffin before the break and maybe not wanting to have to go on the road to take on the Sacred Heart Griffin team, who after tonight, or actually after tomorrow, upon an IHSA ruling, could actually be 9-0 and cost the Rams a playoff point against Rochester, as they were going to rule on a situation where some mothers had purchased championship rings for a few players last year that went over the $200 gift limit mark allowed by the IHSA and the National Federation of High Schools. And so they're going to rule on that tomorrow, and the Rams could possibly lose a playoff point should Rochester have to forfeit that game with SHG that they so rightfully won, but that is the night that they awarded those rings, as I understand it. So the Rams could gain a playoff point from Rochester, but could lose it right back tomorrow.
That just depends, and that'll have to all be sorted out tomorrow afternoon toward late when the afternoon games are finished. Of course, El Dorado will be at Viana Goreville tomorrow, another team that's looking to pad their seed. And you just have to wait. That's an unfortunate situation. It's a shame. There's a limit. It's $200 per ring or per situation. You're allowed to help out with the purchase of such things like that. And being that it's their third time doing it, one has to wonder if they didn't look these things up before. But it's unfortunate that all the players involved had no clue they're not playing tonight. Coach Leonard is not coaching tonight as well. It's an unfortunate thing. But again, for Mount Vernon, last year, 14 of the 16 teams in Class 6A had smaller enrollment or bigger enrollments in Mount Vernon. The only two were private schools. And here's the thing, Springfield was the bottom one in 6A. They had to travel to Crete Monet, which is on I-57 just south of Chicago. It is much better in the landscape of 5A, where Mount Vernon may go to Springfield, they may go to Highland. If Highland goes undefeated, they may end up in Marion. If Marion's a 2 and Mount Vernon's a 7 or a 1-A, who knows? But you really can't speculate. You can't get into pairings because you don't know what the IHSA is going to do based on brackets.
Exactly right. It's senior night here in the King City. The Mount Vernon Rams introduced on the field by public address announcer Scott Gamber. We'll meet them in just a moment, courtesy of Central Christian Church. But right now, some keys to tonight's game.
Well, of course, you're playing the Golden Aces of Mount Carmel. You think of Aces, you think of cards, and that's a lot of their logo. So we want to have a poker face tonight for the Mount Vernon Rams. It's a bittersweet night. You got senior night. But you can't show that emotion of being upset at your last game here, possibly, unless Mount Vernon gets in the playoffs. You don't want to be happy with 5 wins. You want to be greedy. Hit them and trump them. A lot of card games, you got to hit them in poker, hit them in blackjack, and trump them in spades. They want to stop the spread and make Mount Carmel feel a bit uncomfortable, make them shuffle those chips a little bit more on that side before Mount Carmel plays their cards. And then, of course, the river card. If you beat them, you get 6 wins. You can send them back home, which is near the Wabash River. That's the river card that Mount Vernon wants to play tonight.
And we'll see how they play this hand known as the Mount Carmel Golden Aces. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski. We're past the top of the hour. We'll pause for stations identification on the Rams Radio Network.
Honored annually by the Illinois Broadcasters Association for broadcast excellence, WMIX Sports is WMIX, WMIX-FM, Mount Vernon, and all of Southern Illinois, Withers Broadcasting Superstations.
Precisely right. That is how the Federal Communications Commission knows us. Jeff Crow is with us for video on WMIXsports.com, and, of course, Holly Carroll back at our Mount Vernon studio here tonight. A chilly Friday night. Kickoff temperature around the 41-degree mark. Could be as low as 37 by the time the final horn will sound. And the playoff picture by the time the final horn sounds across Illinois will be a little bit clearer, although there are some games tomorrow that will have to wrap up. And, of course, we'll know whom the Rams are playing on playoff weekend and next week. And, of course, that'll be tomorrow night sometime in the latter portion of the 8 o'clock hour. We'll, of course, have that information for you on the social media, probably Twitter and Facebook as well, as it'll be a busy night. Of course, the Rams are congregating in the auditorium starting at 7:45 tomorrow night. The Mount Vernon Rams Gridiron Club encourages anybody that may want to attend and see whom the Rams are going to play. They'll have a nice projector and sound system set up in the auditorium, so feel free to come on out. That is tomorrow night, 7:45, here on the lovely campus of Mount Vernon Township High School, District 201, D Building / the auditorium. Come out and join them tomorrow night. That's at 7:45 p.m. Rams football, of course, is presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland, home of the new one checking account with free checking and high-yield interest. Just ask for one. Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC. You're seeing the coin toss ceremoniously, of course, on WMIXsports.com, should you be watching us online. If not, glad to have you on your radio home for Rams Sports, WMIX and WMIX FM. And, of course, they did this a moment ago, and I hate to spoil it for those of you watching, but I believe the Golden Aces, if they did not win the toss and the Rams deferred, but either way, the Aces will go right to left here in the first quarter. Rams will defend left to right, and, of course, I believe the Aces will start with the football in this game, which means the Rams will get it in the second half. Woo. Chilly night, but this is high school football weather in late October, early November. That's how it was last year. And the year before that, and the year before that.
That's the way it usually goes when you get to the last weekend. Of course, usually this weekend with Mount Vernon Conference, that's the first night of the playoffs. However, the calendar, we've talked about that in depth and beat the dead horse. It's next week, of course, and then with the frost that the area has had this week, and oh my goodness, look at this sneaking up the steps. Wow. Anyway, look at him. Anyway, the frost came last night, and we have a dormant field.
We have a dormant field indeed. Of course, it does look good. It looks like a November football field should. Of course, we're just a few days shy. Rams football is presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to Personal Banking. We told you about them a moment ago. We'll tell you about them all throughout the night. Good to see Chuck in attendance.
Wow, it was nice to see that guy. I haven't seen that guy in a long time.
Better lifestyle for members, a better life for all is where he went.
Well, and he is a classic. I haven't seen him in I don't know how long. But again, wow, O'Fallon down 7-0 early to Granite City. We're losing places to go next Friday night.
Yes, we are.
Modern Day's got to get something done. They're going to be on the road. Effingham's in trouble, and O'Fallon gets beat. We are in some trouble.
Modern Day's got to hope they have the playoff points when it's all said and done.
Oh, there's no doubt.
They need that. I mean, they're at 5-3 right now. A win would get them in. But I take a look at a Pinckneyville-Dupo. That impacts 1A. So, Dupo's 4-4. Pinckneyville's 4-4. But, of course, it's a position where not necessarily either one of those have enough playoff points to get in.
And, Pinckneyville and Murphy both have to win, first of all, and then they got to have 8 points, or they got to have as many as they can get. Everything has to go just right for those two schools, and I don't know if either one of them can get even if they win. I guess we'll find out where that cut line is, and I think it'll be, as the week's gone on, 37, 38, 39, 40. If you're in that range, you're going to have a shot more closer to 40, though.
No doubt about that. Dylan Reeves is on to kick. The Mount Vernon Ram quarterback back to return for the Aces. Riley Raybur's the far man at about the 5. Near man is Dylan Tomlinson, the senior. The Aces are dressed in their away whites with red numerics, gold helmets. Rams are in their home blacks. And if you're watching online at WMIXsports.com, kickoff was missed.
I've never seen it. I've never seen where the kicker runs by the ball and whiffs. And it's strike one, as the PA guy says. That is something that Mr. Reeves will never forget. He ran by the football for an onside kick and missed it. It'll be a 5-yard penalty on Mount Vernon.
So that'll be from the 35 now, for those of you joining us or keeping score at home.
You can't imagine. I've never seen that before. I've seen like misses, where the guy nudges it and it doesn't go very far. I've never seen a kicker miss completely.
We'll see.
Mark that off my bucket hat list of things in sports.
We'll see what happens. Same guys back to return for the Aces. Of course, Riley Raber, the far man. Devlin Tomlinson is the near man. And this one is not going to quite get that far. Picked up by the Aces at their own 38-yard line. Was that Levi Laws getting to the 45 on a 7-yard kickoff return? And that's where the Golden Aces will have it, 1st and 10. As they move from right to left. And I apologize, that was not Levi Laws. That was Sean Flickinger, who is their normal return man, who was playing up suspecting a possible squib kick. So there you have it.
Black Diamond shaking up. Carmi up early, as we said. Fairfield on the road jumps out on top of Chester. We're going to try to keep those kinds of games updated for you. Chester has that long Black Diamond Conference winning streak. And Frankfort has 13 losses in a row heading tonight, the longest of the 3 conferences. They're trying to get a win tonight at Carterville.
Spread offense for the Golden Aces tonight. We'll get to know the Mount Vernon Rams starting defense in just a moment. The quarterback, Reese Metcalf, works out of the shotgun. Left-handers looking to the right side over the flat. Nothing going to happen there. Over the top, As Levi Laws was coming from the right side of the slot. Incomplete it goes. 2nd and 10 for the Aces. No score yet here in the first quarter. 11:51 to play. We are just underway from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium in Mount Vernon.
Wow. The upsets are blowing in already.
Well, there's some wind blowing out of the south. It's a chilly wind, about 6 miles per hour. It'll feel like freezing temperatures at times. Here tonight, Metcalf back out of the shotgun. He'll have 4 on the right, empty backfield. 1 to the left. It's going to be a quick pass. That was intended for Levi Laws, and that'll also fall incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 10. Only 11 seconds off of the game clock here in the first quarter. Ace is still on the 45-yard line.
2 incomplete passes. That helps Mount Vernon's cause out if you can make one more stop and force Mount Carmel to punt. Yeah, you got the same thing I did. There's another upset rolling in early in Jackson County now.
Oh, my.
Yep.
Quarterback Metcalf out of the shotgun. Tomlinson's going to come around to the near slot. Split to the near side is Caleb Klein. On the far side, they're going to go 3 again. Empty backfield out of the shotgun for the senior quarterback, Reese Metcalf of the Golden Aces. Wears number 7, stands 6'4", is 190 pounds. And yet another year starting. Split to the right side, of course, is Levi Laws, Thomas Allen, Austin Thompson also on the right. Play clock is at 1. Aces get the playoff. Metcalf looking to the right side. It's going to be lobbed. It's going to be intercepted by Jalen Rush at the 35. Heads to the 40, looking to break the outside across midfield at the 45-40. Breaks the tackle at the 35, stays on his feet to the 30. And the Rams get the interception return at the 30-yard line. Mount Carmel territory. Well, they'll start 1st and 10. I see no flags.
That's a big spot there, and that ball floated on Metcalf that time. The lefty threw it up there, overthrew his receiver going on a fade down the sidelines. Picked off easily, ran back. The Rams will start at the Aces 32. What a good start. Mount Vernon needs to take advantage and pound this thing in for a touchdown.
Nice start, of course, by the 5'8" sophomore, Jalen Rush. And that'll get the Rams set in the big way. It'll be on the Mount Carmel 32-yard line, spotted on the far hash. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams with 11:37 to play in the first. No score yet here from J.D. Shields. Rams will go with their double wingback set. Split to the left side. It'll be Doug Gardner. Your wingback's not. I neglected to mention the offense. Of course, C.J. Lloyd's going to be in motion. Sweep coming to the right side for a loss thus far. Going to have to get away. He's back at the 40, now to the 35, trying to get to the 30. Got pushed ahead, and that's going to be a long gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 for the Rams as the clock strikes the 11:25 mark here in the first.
A little stretch play that time from left to right, short side to wide side of the field that time. C.J. Lloyd ran about 30 yards to get the 2 yards that you mentioned.
Of course, on the starting lineups we were given yesterday, your quarterback is Dylan Reeves. Wide receivers tonight, Jacoby Marshall and Doug Gardner. Backs are C.J. Lloyd, Graham Hinken, and, of course, DeMontez Miller-Gray. Your line, of course, Alex Hopkins, Josh Borland, Tyler Bradley, London Marler, and Eli Phillips, the senior. Round up Jared Shaner's starting lineup. Double wingback set, split left and right. On the right side, it's Marshall. Miller-Gray's in motion, looking to go left side. Gets a nice block, but it pushes him to the outside. And a loss for this point, trying to cut back to the near side at the 35. Gets pushed back to about the 39-yard line. We'll see where they give him credit, if credit is due here, with 10:43 to play in the first.
A very quick linebacking core. Mount Carmel playing a 3-3 defense. They have 2 corners and then 3 safeties in the back. That's what they've played normally all this season. And right now, that play there, you can see the quickness and the finesse of Mount Carmel getting to Miller Gray and causing the loss of yards.
Of course, got a nice block out on the left side by C.J. Lloyd around the hash, but all it did was push DeMontez out a little bit further. At the 35 in Mount Carmel territory, far hash, 3rd and 13 for the Rams. Reeves looking for the quick pass. It's completed at the 30-yard line to Jacoby Marshall. Nice stiff arm there to get to the 25, maybe rolls to the 24. We'll see where they give credit. If so, it's going to be a gain of about 11. Either way, it's going to be 4th down for the Rams, maybe 4th and 3 at the 10-minute mark of the first quarter, still scoreless.
Well, good little pass, gets you some yardage back, gets you 4th and under about 3 yards, and it gives you an opportunity. You got a lot more plays in the book as we welcome in the Choppa from Channel 3 as Kelly Burke has arrived.
Double wing back set, split left, split right to quarterback. Reeves is under center. Ram football at the Mount Carmel 25-yard line. It's 4th and short. Reeves looking for the quick pass, and that was a missed route there. Doug Gardner was headed for the end zone. Reeves threw well behind, and that's going to be a turnover on downs as the Golden Aces will have it in their own territory at about the 24-25-yard line with 9:33 left to play in the first quarter.
Well, a bend but don't break defense for both teams here so far. And Mount Carmel now will start their own 34. And again, little nerves here tonight. Both teams understand what they're playing for, seniors and playoffs and everything else.
Of course, we're in the WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Ford Square. Schedule your service appointments online at fordsquare.com or give them a call. That's at 1501 Broadway at Mount Vernon, online at fordsquare.com. Out of the shotgun, this is going to be a handoff to the featured back, Tony Miller, trying to get to the right side. Between the hashes doesn't get much, maybe a gain of 3 up the middle to about the 27, with 9:24 to play in the first. No score yet from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium on a game that has seen, as you said, 2 bend but don't break drives put together by both defenses here tonight.
Definitely not the offensive line we saw here 2 years ago roll into Mount Vernon when they would stand up and Eclipse would show up. You couldn't see the sun. A little bit different size of line here for Mount Carmel in 2013.
Spread for the Aces, more of a pistol that time. Left-handed Metcalf looking to the right side, and this one's going to be broken up. The pass was intended for the senior Austin Thompson. Rams secondary has something to say. It'll make it 3rd and 6. The clock will stop flat at 9 minutes here in the first. Still no score.
Well, he worried about Rochester tied at 7. That time there, Metcalf had a guy in the flat on the right side, curled his pattern toward the sideline to the first down. The ball was there, but a Ram defender ran in front, probably shielded the receiver from seeing the football cleanly. Thus it went out of his hands, and Mount Vernon now, how it's Mount Carmel 3rd and 6.
3 on the right, Caleb Klein on the left here for the Golden Aces out of the pistol. The back is Tony Miller, the quarterback, Reese Metcalf. Looks again to the right side. This one's going to be complete at about the 36-yard line, as that was incomplete to Thomas Allen, the senior. And that should be first down yardage for the Golden Aces with 8:56 to go, still scoreless.
Well, first down of the game for both teams. I tried to say that without stuttering. And Mount Carmel that time, just a little pass over the middle. The Rams defense dropped back. Zone had a hole, and that's where they went.
3 left, 1 right, and a single back set here out of the shotgun for Reese Metcalf and the Aces. Ooh, it's going to be a sweep fake. A nice option there for the quarterback Metcalf as he rolls between the hashes to about the 44-yard line. Gain of 8 is going to make it 2nd and approximately 2 as the Aces look to keep the chains going here. 8:30 to play in the first quarter, no score.
Well, the read option that time, you notice at Metcalf on WMIXsports.com, and I'll tell you, where's number 7? A little read option that time, much like Colin Kaepernick of the San Francisco 49ers. And Metcalf's a guy with experience as a senior at 6'4", probably with his athleticism can run that read option pretty well.
8:16 to go out at the pistol for the Golden Aces. Allen's going to be in motion from left to right. Ooh, a run right up the middle. Can the Ram wall stuff it at about the 45-yard line for a no gain?
Nothing there. That was nothing. They tried to run up the middle that time, and actually, when he looked at Mount Carmel, the running back kind of tipped it off that time. He was kind of leading the way he was leaning in his stance as to where he was going, and Mount Vernon did a good job of maybe reading the formation, and making the stop.
Wow, they're going to give forward progress for first down yardage. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Aces on the other side of the 45 at the 46. Ball will be inside the far hash as the Aces will work out of the shotgun, maybe the pistol here. Split to the left side, Klein. Split in the left slot, I should say. Left side was Klein. Left slot now, of course, is going to be Thomas Allen. Also, Levi Laws will come to the left, leaving Austin Thompson on the right. Single back set here out of the shotgun, and it's going to be a nice little
incomplete shuffle pass. Yep.
Eek.
That is a shuffle pass. Mount Carmel right now only 1 of 5 throwing the football tonight. That's a little shuffle pass they throw to the running back, cutting up the middle. They let for things happen, and that time the ball was batted down for an incomplete pass.
Whoopsie. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Aces. Clock stops at 7:41. 0-0. Scoreless here from J.D. Shields as they're looking to the right side on a slant pattern. And it was complete. A nice tackle there by Doug Gardner as it was caught by Austin Thompson. from the 45 in Ram territory, gets to the 43-yard line. That is going to be a gain of about 11. It'll be first down yardage for Mount Carmel with 7:36 to play in this scoreless first quarter.
And this drive starting to take shape here for Mount Carmel.
Of course, starting lineups tonight presented by Central Christian Church. Log on to thenewscentral.com to watch worship services, find ministry multimedia, and amazing messages for adults and youth alike. It's all at thenewscentral.com. Central Christian Church, loving God and loving people. As Reese Metcalf able to do a nice little turnaround move to come left between the hashes across the 40 down to about the 35-yard line. Gain of 8 for the Aces. It'll be 2nd and 2 with 7:08 to play.
And this is more like a Mount Carmel team we're used to seeing running the football, except out of the option. That'll be on Mount Carmel. They jump forward. 5-yard penalty for progress on Mount Carmel. So they had 2nd and 8. They'll probably have 2nd and 2. They're going to have 2nd and about 7 now.
So 7:03 to play in the opening quarter. WMIX and WMIX FM. Video online tonight at WMIXsports.com. We hope you'll join us tomorrow morning for the Saturday Sports Show, 8:08 until 10 o'clock on AM 940. Audio at WMIXsports.com. Nice pass to Levi Laws on the right side. Broke from the far hash out of the slot. He was able to get to about the 35-yard line. If it holds, it's a gain of about 5, and it'll bring up 3rd and 2. So they erase the penalty.
This drive keeps going, and one thing for Mount Vernon, they got to keep their heads in it, folks.
Rams football presented by Community First Bank. Your community, your choice, your bank. With 5 locations and friends and neighbors on staff who understand your needs. Community First Bank keeps it simple. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC. They are the official voice of the Rams here on WMIX and WMIXsports.com. We're going to get what I think.
Yeah. Lane Kiffin's telling everybody to move back over there on the opposite sideline. That's his new job these days. They have moved everybody back. You have a white line there on both sides that the players, coaches, and everybody have to be behind. You saw that in the Cowboys-Redskins game a couple weeks ago. Coach got run into because he was in that white stripe. Of course, they don't have it here, but you have to stay behind the line, and the sideline warning has been issued.
Ball on the Ram 35, far hash for the Aces out of the shotgun. It'll be, nice play. That looks like it's going to be number 35. Thomas out on the right side trying to break. Gets to the outside at the sideline, far side into the corner for a touchdown. It'll be 6-0 Aces on the 35-yard pass to Thomas Allen.
Yep, that was pretty nice. It was Levi Laws.
Oh, my apologies.
I believe. Yep, Levi Laws got the pass. Metcalf to Laws on the 38-yarder, and Mount Carmel unfortunately takes the lead on a little less out pass, and he just made the rest happen.
6-0 Aces on top. On to kick the PAT will be Caleb Klein, the senior. Trying to make it a 7-0 ball game with 6:37 to go in the first quarter. Video online at WMIXsports.com, presented by Red Lake College, as the Rams give it a nice effort. This one looks like it might have just snuck in the far upright. It does. 7-0 Aces, but of course at Red Lake College you can save thousands on your college education. See how and apply online at rlc.edu.
Well, that drive lasted 10 plays, 66 yards, went 3 minutes, ended with Metcalf to Laws for a 38-yard touchdown pass, and Mount Carmel jumps out 7-0, and they have to feel pretty good after riding over on Route 1 and I-64 to get here to take a lead.
Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside on WMIX, AM 940, 94.1 FM, and WMIXsports.com. As the Mount Vernon Rams will get another try to tie this one up. They trail 7-0 with 6:37 to go in the first quarter. Of course, we told you a moment ago in the Landers Collision Center's pregame show, the Rams will have a selection party tomorrow night in the auditorium here on campus. 7:45 is when that will go. They'll have the projector set up. They will watch the official IHSA selection show, and they will find out their opponent. Of course, they're going to celebrate like crazy when they see where they are headed. Even with a 6-win, highly unlikely they could possibly get a home game, but it would depend upon who gets in, of course, with these final slots that remain over this final week of regular season football.
Well, it's a big time of year. And these scores coming in, you can tell that it's a big time of year. Schools are, you got seniors playing their last game. You got people playing for pride. You got people playing for playoffs. It's big.
Pete Smith on the kick, and this one could sneak out of bounds, and it does. At about the 38-yard line in Ram territory. Flag will be on the play.
Well, that just drives coaches absolute bonkers. You get a big drive, a 10-play drive, and you start out with good field position, kick off, and you kick it out of bounds. Like, come on. And it's a kicker.
Pete Smith, that kicker.
Well, Mount Vernon's going to take the ball and start with the possession. They're not going to make him kick it again. It's a 5-yard penalty, and Mount Vernon will start at the 40. Good field position for Mount Vernon, and need to get something going after the Aces struggled to get passing going. They ended up getting that big pass play to get the touchdown.
We'll get you some more scores throughout the night, presented by Tony Wilt, State Farm Insurance. Split left for the Rams will be Doug Gardner. On the right, Jacoby Marshall. Wingbacks, of course, are C.J. Lloyd, DeMontez Miller-Gray. Your fullback on the right side with a man in motion. This time it's going to be C.J. Lloyd on the carry, trying to get up the middle. Nice play on a sweep that actually ended up the middle to about the 45 for a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Wow. There's that. Fullback, of course, in that play was Graham Hinken.
Well, 5 tough yards on the run. Mount Vernon's going to have to get back to that.
Ball on the 46-yard line. Actually, again, a 6 for CJ. 6:10 to play in the first. 7-0. Aces on top. Split to the right side. Miller Gray's going to go in the right slot. On the right, also Marshall. A split left is Doug Gardner, as I get my bearings about me, but it is going to be Dylan Reeves on the quarterback keeper up the middle. Gets to about the 47. Forward progress, maybe, if lucky, at the 48. The Aces force a fumble, and they recover.
Mount Vernon's second turnover are already in the ball game, as you can see the ball comes stripping out there, and it goes on the fumble. You got to tuck that ball in. Opportunistic Aces defense forces a turnover, and they will start at the Rams' 48-yard line.
Where it's 1st and 10 for Mount Carmel. So quarterback Reese Metcalf and crew will do it again. They'll have Caleb Klein split to the left side. Levi Laws will probably end up far side. We'll see what happens. We'll await the personnel. As Tony Miller late to check in. Nope, Flickinger late to check in for the Aces. Laws is going to go right slot with Austin Thompson. We'll put 3 on the right side. Klein on his lonesome on the left. High snap to Metcalf, the left. He forces the pass. It's going to be complete to Thompson at the line of scrimmage. Breaks the outside. He's the 40. Almost a hurdle there at the 38.
Yep.
Pushed out of bounds with 5:47 to play in the first. Not sure if it's going to be a first down or not. The chains looked like they just dropped out of the way. I don't know if they got first down yardage, but either way, it's 7-0 Mount Carmel. 5:47 to go in the first quarter.
Well, it is tough going right now. Tough sledding for Mount Vernon defensively right now, and we knew this is going to be a difficult night. Try to contain this Mount Carmel offense.
1st and 10 for the Aces out of the shotgun. Metcalf finds Levi Laws in the slot. Ooh, nice slant route by Levi Laws. He's something special, of course, as a junior, as he gets to about the 22-yard line. Gain of about 15 through the air. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Aces as the chains move with 5:40 to play in the first. Aces trying to add to this 7-0 lead.
Metcalf started out 1 of 5. He's now hit his last 5 completions.
The lefty looking awfully smooth. 5:30 to go in the quarter. This time it's going to be a hand. Nope. Faked the handoff and ran right up the middle. Now trying to break to the near side. Gets to the 15-yard line for Reese Metcalf. It's going to be a gain of about 8, 8.5, 9. It'll bring up 2nd and short now for Mount Carmel with 5:19 to go.
This is a Mount Vernon team or a Mount Carmel team on a mission. Boy, they are ready to roll. They're not happy with being 8-0. They want number 9. They know the importance of a good seed.
3 right, 1 left this time. Klein on the left for the Aces. It's going to be Metcalf out of the shotgun. Quick pass. Ooh, this one is going to be Thomas Allen. He gets past the 10 down to about the 5-yard line, far hash. As we drop below the 5-minute mark and the clock stops for the chain to move, it'll be...
Uh-oh. They're going to have to go...
Yep. Should be 1st and goal from about
down.
the 5.
Yep.
Score updates tonight, as we told you, Tony Wilt, State Farm Insurance. Glad to help your family with all of their insurance needs. Give his office a call. Find him on the web at TonyWilt.com. We're looking for the white State Farm Jeep about town. Out the pistol now for the Aces. Quarterback Reese Metcalf. Did they get the Rams to jump, or... false start. I saw 2 guys moving at the same time even before that potential false start. So they'll back it up. It'll be 1st and goal from the 10. 7-0 Aces, 4:42 to play in the first.
One of our correspondents is griping, picked the wrong game, blowout happening.
Usually when you're a WMIX sports correspondent, you have bad luck when it comes to picking games.
Mm-hmm.
Pistol for the Aces, balanced, of course, as far as the wideouts, and Metcalf on the run. Look at the left side, batted away by Jacoby Marshall near the goal line. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Aces. Clock stops at 4:27. Good play by the cornerback Marshall.
Well, it is tough because this defense is going to have to pick it up and get something going, make a stop, limit some points here if you can.
If you can, indeed. 7-0 Mount Carmel against Mount Vernon. A long time Week 9 game. Took a few years off. Got it going again in 2011. Aces got 2nd in 3A that year. Then, of course, last year went to the 4A playoffs. Fell to Columbia in the first round. This is going to be an easy play to Caleb Klein. Does he get in? Just breaks the plane on the left side. That's going to be a 10-yard touchdown pass from Reese Metcalf to Caleb Klein with 4:22 to go in the first. It's 13-0 Mount Carmel.
Boy, it's not taking long. Man, they are loaded up. They got warmed up and they're ready to go. And they have jumped on Mount Vernon here and taken the big crowd from Mount Vernon out of this game early and often in this one.
Don't forget to follow us on the Twitterverse at WMIX Sports. We're on Facebook, as well as WMIXsports.com.
6 plays, 48 yards. And about 2 minutes.
As we'll have a penalty on the PAT. It'll be on the Rams, and that'll move it half the distance and basically make the kick just halfway closer, in which case they're probably going to go for 2. T is off the field. Caleb Klein, the kicker, will leave the field, and they're going to go with the goal line set here. Reese Metcalf over toward the sideline to get the instruction from Coach Darren Peach. Miller will be the tailback here, and the goal line set, double tight for the Aces. 4:22 to play as they are going to go for 2. Get in, however, there's a flag over there on the far side. Maybe one day we'll get this PAT figured out.
Ooh.
So the Rams get it. The Aces half the distance again. So another try for the Aces, who looked like they got in the last time. We'll see what happens. 13-0 Mount Carmel on top, waiting for the PAT try here in the first quarter. So glad you could join us. WMIX, WMIX FM, Mount Vernon, a free service from Withers Broadcasting. As it popped loose, they're going to say they got it before the ball popped loose. The ball broke the plane. By rule, that is a 2-point conversion. It's 15-0 Mount Carmel.
Well, that's not the way you wanted to start. And now it's 15-0, and Mount Carmel is dominating most stats and facts here in this ball game. And if you're in Mount Vernon, now you got to turn around. You can't feel sorry for yourself. You got to get out here and pump it down a little bit and get something going offensively. Even if anything, get a first down or 2 to at least keep the defense of yours off the field to give them a rest.
Rams need to score in the worst possible way, trailing 15-0, 4:22 to play in the first quarter. Of course, always bank on your hometown team. Community First Bank, home of the One Account, featuring free checking and high-yield interest. Member FDIC. They are the official voice of Rams Athletics here on your radio. Actually, the official voice of high school sports. Showcase will be upon us before you know it, as will Rams and Lady Rams basketball. Hoping to keep this football season continuing. Playoffs next week. We'll see how far the Rams can go. We'll have them here for the duration on AM 940 and 94.1 FM with video at WMIXsports.com.
It's time for Mount Vernon to get some first downs and run the football and do some things here offensively. Only right now, 7 plays for Mount Vernon ran on offense.
Pete Smith looking for the fade kick on the far side. This one is going to bounce out of bounds for a flag, and the Golden Aces almost got there. As DeMontez Miller-Gray was trying to make a decision on where to pick it up, and it did not bounce out of bounds. Aces almost got there to pick it up and would have had an easy touchdown in addition to possession, whichever came first.
Well, and it's one of those deals where they pooch kick that ball, and they kick it high in the air down the sideline, and what they're trying to do is get to it in the air, and that time they almost got there. The ball hit the ground first, kicked out of bounds. Luckily for Mount Vernon, they just pick it up and run straight down the end zone for a touchdown.
And I like that because you're not giving up much field position, but you also give yourself a great chance to get the ball right back. For the Rams, it'll be a double wing back set here. Split to the left, it'll be Gardner. On the right, it's Jacoby Marshall. Dylan Reeves, the junior QB, is under center. With 4:22 to play in the first, trailing 15-0, Lloyd will be in motion. This is going to be a play up the middle on the inside handoff. I thought it went to Graham Hinken. Maybe a gain of 1 for the Ram fullback. It'll be 2nd and 9 from about the 36-yard line. Oh, they're going to give him a great spot, a spot of a 2-yard gain.
Well, that was a gift, as there is not much going on against this Mount Carmel defense. Probably maybe a little underrated.
I would say so.
But you won't hear a lot about that.
Allowed 6 to Harrisburg, 3 to a struggling Mount Vernon, Indiana team. That's Posey. There's 2 schools in Mount Vernon, Indiana. 15-0 to score here. We'll talk more about the Aces season to this point as Reeves is going to roll left side, and that quick line and linebacking core out of this 3-3 defense was in there in a hurry, and that's going to be no gain at best.
Well, this is the problem. Mount Vernon, if they can't run the football, and Mount Vernon's bread and butter is running the football, they're going to have to do some things differently. They have to throw the ball a little bit more what they're used to or whatever. But, boy, I'm impressed with the Aces defense so far in this first quarter.
No doubt about that. In motion, Lloyd. We're trying to counter, I thought, but they don't get the handoff to DeMontez Miller-Gray. There's going to be a flag as it was a loss for the Rams. We'll see whom this flag is going to be called upon. With 3:09 to go in the first quarter, still 15-0 Mount Carmel. Could be a Ram first down if it goes against the Aces.
Face mask. What it is, face mask. Mount Carmel right now, this is their 6th penalty of the first half. Of course, half of those are on kickoffs and offsides on special teams. So we'll see if this is enough for a first down. It only is a 5-yard penalty of the variety. 6th 5-yard penalty of the inning so far on the Aces.
3:07 to play. We're in the first quarter from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium, Mount Vernon Township High School. The Rams will split off Jacoby Marshall to the right side. They go left to right in the first. Load up the wing backs on the right, including the fullback with Lloyd in motion, trying to go strong side. Doesn't get much on it on 3rd and 5. He'll be pushed back for 4th and about 7 or 8.
And this is a defense right now. They are pinned back. They're bringing 10 guys in the box, and they're going forward in this case. And right now, Mount Vernon's got to shake some things up and figure out ways to get some offense here, because right now they are just flat struggling to get around these linebackers.
Left and right are the split ends for the Rams out of this double wing back set. No, actually, I'm sorry, it's punt. Pardon me. Forgot it was 4th down, 4th and 7 as the punter, Dylan Reeves, will get a nice punt off. It'll be about to the 39-yard line for the Aces, and a nice return coming up here at about midfield, but Tyler Bradley in on the save on the tackle to Levi Laws, the returner. It'll be shy of the 45-yard line. Again, my apologies a moment ago. 2:15 to play in the first. It's 15-0 Mount Carmel. Another chance for the Aces offense.
And the Rams have not had a first down yet. That's the whole key in the ball game. Have not been able to keep the ball out of the hands of Mount Carmel long enough. And Mount Carmel already, this is their 4th drive of the game, starting at their own 43, 44-yard line.
We talked about that Aces defense, and the only game in which they appeared to have struggled was against cross-border rival Princeton, in which they gave up 35 points in a 47-35 win over a 6-3 Princeton team. Looking at the right side, it's going to be complete to Austin Thompson. Across midfield, past the 45 to about the 41-yard line. That is going to be a gain of about 16 through the air with 2:09 to play in the first. Brings up another 1st and 10 for Mount Carmel, already up a pair of touchdowns.
Quick slant on the right side. Mount Vernon playing outside protection, and right now they can't get anything going as far as defensively goes. As far as the Aces, they're just striking down the field on this quick hit pass offense.
Pistol for Metcalf, looking for a fade route left side, and turned around at about the 24 was Caleb Clyde. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Mount Carmel. Clock will stop with 2:01. If you're tired of big corporate banking, you have a choice in Jefferson County. Community First Bank is at home, and Dick Sign of Woodlawn and Mount Vernon. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC. We have 2:01 to play here in the first quarter. 15-0. Mount Carmel on top. Going to go with the pistol again, it would appear. Daxton Peach is going to be in the right slot. Otherwise, it's going to be Allen and Klein on the near side. I assume Laws is out there. Allen in motion. Going to be a handoff. Flickinger is going to break up the middle for a run. Past the 35 down at the 30. Inside the 30 at the 29, 28. Going to be a gain of about 12 for the Aces. Ran up that far hash and never stopped with 1:55 to go, though there is a flag on the play.
Got a flag on the play, and we'll see what it is as far as what the penalty is, and they're looking. It is an illegal formation on Mount Carmel. So bring that run back, bring that first down back, and they'll accept that penalty, move it back 5 yards. The 7th penalty on Mount Carmel in this first quarter. It's about the only thing they've done wrong so far.
That'll back it up 5 to make it 2nd and 15. Spotted it outside the 45 at the 46-yard line. Inside the far hash with 1:55 to play in the first. Aces still trying to add to this 15-0 lead. On the near side in the slot, it'll be Allen. Caleb Klein split left. It looks like it is going to be Laws. Nope, that's going to be Daxton Peach and Austin Thompson on the right. Tony Miller. Nope, make that Flickinger will be the back behind the quarterback. Reese Metcalf, they're out of the pistol with 1:42 to play. 11 on the play clock here in the first quarter. In motion will be Daxton Peach. He'll load up left side on the run. Ooh, a nice pass to Thomas Sound at about the 44-yard line, trying to run between the hashes. Maybe got an extra yard after the carry, but they're not quite to the original line of scrimmage, as this will bring up 3rd and 14.
3rd and 14, couple
sorry,
plays.
3rd and 11.
And now you'll see Mount Carmel go a little quicker here on the offense. I notice they're starting to pick their pace up a little bit. Offenses will do that when they get in a rhythm. Highland's going to go 9-0. They are already up 28-0 on Charleston early. So Highland is another school that could possibly be a Mount Vernon opponent next weekend.
See how she shakes out of the pistol for Reese Metcalf, the Aces. He's looking left side. Ooh, going to be flushed out of the pocket. Gets near the line of scrimmage. He's going to launch one downfield, and that's about 5 yards ahead of Caleb Klein. And what a route by Caleb Klein. Kind of came off with a split near side across the field on a post pattern. And it falls incomplete for 4th and 11 with 54.7 seconds left in the first quarter. See if the Aces do up 15-0. You would assume upon. And I've assumed before with Mount Carmel and have been dead wrong. Punter, of course, is the quarterback, Reese Metcalf. Back to return is Doug Gardner. Rams have their first 1,000-yard rusher this year. We'll tell you about it here in this Medicine Shop timeout, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the Mount Vernon Rams and the local community, of course, with over 1,000 yards last week at Centralia. Montez Miller-Gray becomes the first 1,000-yard rusher since Joel Rush in 2008. That said, I believe we have some scores from around the area.
Jacksonville trails Rochester 14-10 in the second. Carbondale over Harrisburg at the end of one, 14-7. Is Marion over in St. Louis Normandy, 21-6 in the first. Carmi leads CZR in the second, 27-zip. Fairfield over Chester on the road, 12-6. Johnston City leads Hamilton County at the end of one, 14-0. Last report, SVWW was leading Alvarado Trico 8-0 late first quarter. Carlisle at home leads Benton 12-zip in the second. Heron all over AJ 21-0 in the first. Ballard County, Kentucky over Massac 7-0. Murphy leads DuQuoin 7-0 in the second. We'll have more later as we get a break.
Scoreboard updates presented by Tony Wilt, State Farm Insurance, your agent here in Mount Vernon. As back to return, it'll be Doug Gardner at about the 10/11 between the hashes. High snap, no problem for Reese Metcalf. He's right-footed, oddly enough, and this one's going to be chased out of bounds at about the 22 rather.
Well,
I'll get my peepers figured out eventually.
50 seconds to go in this quarter. It's been a disastrous quarter for Mount Vernon. Just can't get anything right. Getting that scoreboard update. SVW trails 12-8 to end of one at ET. Carterville over Frankfort into 1, 22-0. Columbia over Nashville early, 21-zip. It is Pinckneyville over DuPont 7-0 early on.
There you go.
That wraps everything up.
That's one of the few 4-4 versus 4-4 battles I could find outside of Harrisburg.
Altoff over Triad in the second quarter, 14-7.
Altoff needs that one. Of course, don't have the benefit of 2A this year. And that is not a slight to 2A schools. Did what they could against a Altoff team that played primarily a 5, 6, 7A schedule last year. Quarterback for the Rams as they start on their own 22-yard line.
You think
Dylan
they're
Reeves.
keying on the hyphen?
I think they're keying on the hyphen left.
Yeah, they figured out that he goes left. And they are making sure that he doesn't go very far left.
So from the 22 to about the 18, it'll go. Loss of about 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 14. Clock strikes 30 seconds to go in the first. Still 15-0 Golden Aces on top. Don't forget our Second Chance Auto halftime show. We'll check in with the Rams report. We'll also have your MVTHS minute on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. But still a second quarter to come as the Rams do not have to get a play off. Play clock at 13, game clock at about 10. So the Rams not happy with the result here in the first quarter. After one, the Mount Carmel Golden Aces 15, the Mount Vernon Rams nothing. We'll take a break, come back with second quarter action on senior night. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
This is your local State Farm agent, Tony Wilt. I want to thank Mount Vernon and the surrounding area for continuing to support us over the past 5 years. If you have never sat down with someone to go over your insurance program, let me invite you into our office. Let us show you what working with the industry leader, represented by a local agent, can do for you. I'm located just off 42nd Street. You can reach our office 24 hours a day at 242-1421 or on the web at tonywilt.com. Thanks again, and go Rams.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new one account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Your home for the Mount Vernon Rams is WMIX Sports, powered by Community First Bank.
It is indeed always bank on the hometown team. Community First Bank has 5 Jefferson County branches, making them the market leader. Home of the one account featuring free checking and high yield interest. Just ask for one. member FDIC. Second quarter action from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. The Rams trail the Mount Carmel Golden Aces 15-0. Second and 14 from the Rams, deep in their own territory at their own 18 between the hashes. It's going to be a counter play for DeMontez Miller-Gray trying to come near side. He'll be stopped at about the 16 unless they give him forward progress for a no-gainer.
I'm telling you what, this Mount Carmel defense, you say what you want about the offense and the jobs they do there, this Mount Carmel defense is so impressive.
They shut out Boonville last week 41-0. Of course, Boonville finished their regular season at 1-8. Back-to-back weeks of 27-14 over Jasper and Vincennes Lincoln. Of course, Jasper 8-1, Lincoln 2-7. And, of course, against a 1-8 Washington team, the Hatchets, they won 48-13. So
carved the Hatchets up.
Yeah, they did. Beat Mater Dei 37-6. Under center, it's Reeves, 3rd and 14 from the 18, looking for the deep pass. And this one's going to be at the shoestrings of Marshall. Can't come up with it. Jacoby tried to get it about the 40-yard line. It'll be 4th and 14 for the Rams. Well then.
Not a good start for Mount Vernon. Credit the defense. I'm more impressed with the defense of Mount Carmel as much as I am the offense.
11-14 to go in the first half. The Rams are going to punt. And this one will end up being a worm burner about midfield. Picked up by Laws at the Mount Carmel 49. Trying to get between the hashes. Now trying to cut to the outside. Slips a tackle at the 45. Now trying to cut back near side off of the hash at the 40 into about the 36. Nice return for the junior Levi Laws. Set up in Mount Vernon territory with the first down.
It's where you have to step up. If you're the Mount Vernon Rams, you have to have something going here. You've got to see who's going to dig down the trenches with you when things aren't going very well, and you got to see who's going to stand up for you right now. And this will tell a lot because you may find yourself in a similar situation next week on the road in the playoffs as well.
It'll be Klein and Laws on the right side. Allen and Thompson on the left with Levi Laws in motion out of the pistol. Handoff's going to go to Flickinger. Nope, it's going to be a shovel out to the left side for Levi Laws. He's at the 30 and brought down at about the 32. Maybe a gain of about, I don't know, maybe give him a gain of 7 or 8. It'll be second and short.
Big gain. Man, this is domination. Mount Vernon does not have a first down yet. Mount Carmel has 9 of them going on 10. Total domination here by the Aces in this game.
So it'll actually be 2nd and 1 for Mount Carmel. 10:33 to go off of the far hash. That is going to be, a putted handoff or snap, I guess you could say. It's a handoff going to go to Flickinger, and there is a penalty flag here as he got to about the 25-yard line.
I'm thinking it's going to be on Mount Carmel based on where that flag was at.
So the Aces will be pushed back with 10:26 to play in the first half. It's 15-0 Golden Aces. Video at WMIXsports.com is presented by Rend Lake College, who offers over 100 degree and certificate programs for thousands less. See which is right for you with full descriptions at rlc.edu and apply online while you're there. So that'll push it back to about the 41-yard line. It'll be 2nd and about 15 or so for the Golden Aces. Ball inside the far hash. It'll be Klein and Law split to the right side. On the left, it looks like that's going to be Allen and Thompson. Flickinger appears to still be the back out of the pistol for Reese Metcalf. The lefty looks to the far side. Overthrown for Austin Thompson. Rams defense was all over, and that'll bring up 3rd and 15 with 10:10 to play in the quarter.
Interesting play call by Mount Carmel at 2nd and 15. Maybe put the ball on the ground a little bit and run that football, and I was shocked that they decided to go for it there and on a pass at that case with the way they've been moving the football.
Laws and Klein right. Thompson's going to join. That's going to be Allen coming to join on the right side. And the Aces want to burn a timeout. So Mount Carmel takes their second timeout. Presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy at 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the local community, as well as the Rams and Lady Rams.
Ready?
Okay.
Got more.
All right.
Marion leads Normandy, not the Beaches, 28-6 at the end of 1. Carmi over CZR, 27-7 the second. Another update, Massac County and Ballard County, Kentucky tied at 7 in the second quarter. That's important for playoff point-wise for a lot of teams. DuQuoin trails Murphy in the second, 7-0 of the updates that I have from around Southern Illinois.
Updated by Tony Wilt, State Farm Insurance. Glad to help your family with all of their insurance needs. Give his office a call. Find him on the web at TonyWilt.com or look for the white State Farm Jeep around town. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Of course, they'll get you to a better state. Mount Carmel plays in another state as far as their conference games are concerned. Out of the Big 8 Conference in Indiana. Of course, Mount Vernon, Indiana, the Posey Wildcats. Princeton, of course. I believe they're the Tigers. The Washington Hatchets, Jasper. Vincennes, Lincoln, I believe they're the Alices. And Boonville, the Pioneers. All out of Indiana. Formerly out of the North Egypt Conference. It dissolved at about 2000, 2001 time. 3 on the right, 1 on the left out of the pistol for Reese Metcalf. Tailback is going to be Tony Miller. He looks left side. The lefty's going to pass off to the running back Miller. Trying to break for a run far side. Gets to about the 25. Finally brought down near the 20. Doesn't matter because on third down, it's first down yardage.
Little bubble screen right down the middle, and that's where they went with 10th first down of the game. And Mount Carmel is marching to no avail of that Mount Vernon defense right now, passing the football. Total domination by the Aces.
Of course, Winning Edge serves all of Southern Illinois. I'm sure Mount Carmel as well. Looking for an award to recognize an individual team or other accomplishment, then check out Winning Edge's fashionable line of plaques, medallions, glass, and acrylics. Visit winningedgeusa.com. This is going to be a play over to the right side. Looked like a pass complete to Thomas Allen. And got about 6 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4. Tyus, I should say, the safety with a nice tackle.
Domination.
Quickly it is.
Yep.
With 9:35 to play in the second quarter, 15-0 Aces. Ball deep in Mount Vernon territory on the 14. This one's going to be picked up on a fumble at the 35-40 across midfield. That is going to be picked up by DeMontez Miller-Gray, and nobody's going to catch him today. That'll be a defensive touchdown for, Robert Grider, who picked it up. Could not see the last number, and Grider is going to get about an 86-yard fumble return on the high snap for a touchdown. No flags.
But you need a break. There it is, and that's what you need. You needed that break to go your way, and Mount Vernon has scored, and Mount Vernon on the board on the turnover, and that's exactly the kind of things that you have to go your way to get back into this one.
My apologies to Mr. Grider, who had hyphen-like speed on that play, 86 yards for the score, and now the Rams are back within this one. They're going to look for the PAT here.
Can you believe it? Mount Vernon doesn't have a first down. They only trail by a touchdown. You got to be pumping your kids up on the sideline, saying, guys, look at what we're doing. We don't even have a first down offensively. We're only down a score.
Robert Grider, one of the leaders on this team defensively. They're going to go for 2 here. Who can blame them? Looking for the play to DeMontez. Cuts back and got in right about the hash. Cut back to the right side to get in for 2, and it's going to be 15-8. How about that for D? Yep. The hyphen. Talking about Robert Grider a moment ago. Leads the team in sacks, has 7, but also has 18 tackles for loss. And he adds a fumble recovery for a touchdown to his resume tonight.
Well, it's a good thing. And now you've done something. Now you've got something going here for Mount Vernon. And now you've got Mount Carmel back on their heels a little bit. You've dominated Mount Vernon. You feel like you should be up by more than just a score. And now Mount Vernon's into this one. They got to be looking on the board to Mount Vernon going, wow, look, we haven't got a first down yet. We've got only, at this point, and I got to look, negative yardage total offense so far. You haven't moved the ball up and down the field. They had 7 yards or negative 4 in the second quarter, and Mount Vernon is within a touchdown.
Not bad.
And if you're a coach, Shaner, and staff, you're down on the field saying, guys, look at this. Look what we can do. We haven't even played our best football, and we're only down 7.
Of course, Dylan Reese will be on the kick. Rayburn Tomlinson. Not Tomlinson, but Tomlinson are back to return. Instead, this will be on the ground and just past Flickinger. Rams are going to give chase. Can they get it? Still on the ground, and the Rams will have it at the 30. Finally picked up after, I believe. I'm not sure who finally got it. Was it Andrew Heiner that picked it up? If so, I think it was Andrew Heiner. He's going to be the one getting the glad hand on the sideline. But that was a great kick by Reeves. It got past Flickinger on the ground, and the Rams will have it 1st and 10 from the 30. This is the type of stuff that wins you ball games.
Yep.
Mount Vernon will have it 1st and 10 from the Mount Carmel 30-yard line.
Unbelievable. Wowzer. So it'll be on the near hash on the spot. The Rams will send Marshall out to the right side. Left side, it'll be Doug Gardner. Unbelievable for Rams football right now. Reeves, the quarterback, will be under center. Lloyd's going to be a fullback. He'll get the handoff, trying to rush it up the gut. Gets past the line of scrimmage down to about the 30. Make that to 26. Gain of about 4. Bring up 2nd and 6, but you'll take it.
Gain of 4 is like gain of 30 in this one.
You know what? Yes.
I mean, that's the way this looks.
Gardner will come back left. Marshall back to the right. Hinkin, Lloyd. For the life of me, that is, what's that? It looks like Miles Tate. This is going to be an inside handoff again, lost by Lloyd. Can he get back on it? The Rams have lost 1 fumble already. Looks like they'll recover this one. It will be a slight loss. Tate's going to come off, and back in will be DeMontez Miller-Gray. So they brought in Tate as kind of a muscle man.
Well, gettable from 2 down territory.
So it'll be 20 on the 26. It's in Mount Carmel territory. Ball inside the near hash with 8:18 to play in the first half. 15-8. Aces on top. The Rams got an 86-yard fumble return from Mr. Grider a moment ago, and this is going to be play action. Reeves rolling to the right side. He's got to break for a run. Gives chase. He'll have first down yardage. Maybe more as he gets to the far sideline. There's a reaction of loud applause on the far side as he got to about the 15 on a gain of 11. Oh, my.
Well,
Archie Manning
there was
again.
a nice block over there that decleated a young man from Mount Carmel. Nothing dirtier out of that. It was just a decleater, and his helmet and his body left the ground.
So 15-8 the score. 1st and 10 for the Rams. The ball will be on the Mount Carmel 14-yard line.
On the Mount Carmel 14-yard line.
See what the Rams are able to do here. Rams football presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. We'll tell you more about them in just a moment. After the Rams get a play off. What's on the right side? Marshall on the left. Gardner in motion. Lloyd. He will stop, and this is going to be up. It's going to be Reeves able to flick it out to Lloyd. He's going to break into the near corner. He gets in for the touchdown. Reeves somehow found Lloyd on the fake. It looked like it was going to go to Hinkin on the inside handoff. Then a bit of a shovel to the outside by Dylan Reeves. And this is a new ball game as the Rams are back within 1 on the 14-yard run by C.J. Lloyd.
Yeah, good job. I mean, you got to run the option. And now Mount Vernon back into this one.
7:53 to go in the first half, and the Rams trail by 1, 15-14. I go for the PAT with C.J. Lloyd. The Rams are 50% as a team this year when they attempt the kick.
Who needs a first down to score points?
There you go. How about that? Kick is up. Looks like it has some muscle behind it. We're tied at 15. Oh, my, as the Rams are stormed back here in the first half, and it's been because of turnovers.
About a minute and a half there to go about 25 yards. And this ball game is all tied at 15.
We shall see what happens. 15-15. That's right, it is tied. Community First Bank of the Heartland proudly brings you Rams Athletics on the radio. That was one great play. Make your own great play when you open a Community First Bank free high-yield checking account that earns cash back. Just ask for one. Remember FDIC. If you're wondering what great play, well, how about the one where Dylan Reeves is able to somehow shovel it out, more of a flick variety, to C.J. Lloyd for 14 yards inside the near corner for the score. Now the PAT good from Lloyd. It is 15-15, and Mr. C.J. Lloyd, a fantasy stud tonight along with Robert Grider.
And remember I told you when they were down 15-0, you have to go down that sideline. You have to find people that want to play. You have to find people that want to do things when the going is uphill. And right now Jared Shaner may have found some people in this case that want to get up and stick and make some plays. Two big plays there. We're tied at 15 with 7:53 to go in the second quarter. And if you're Mount Carmel, your head's got to be spinning just a little bit.
Absolutely unreal. The Big 8 Conference champions look shocked right now to be tied at 15 with 7:53 to go in the first half. Reeves on to kick. It'll be Raber and Tomlinson back to return again for Mount Carmel if it gets that far. It hasn't yet. Reeves on the kick up the middle. Flickinger is going to get it off the hop this time at about the 24, trying to go up the middle. Wisely falls to his knees before Brighton Bowers can get there, all 5'11", 200 pounds of him, and a big play in fear of the sophomore.
Oh, huge. If he doesn't fall on that one, Mount Vernon's got it again going the other way. Luckily, they did that. How about Fairfield? 28-12 in the second quarter on the road at Chester. That will send shockwaves around the South.
Justin Townsend liked his team's chances going into that game. Fairfield Mules, a team to be reckoned with out of the BDC.
Flexing a little muscle over there.
Glad to have you on Facebook. Twitter as well.
Twitter's hopping. Could use a follow on Twitter or a like on Facebook.
And single back shotgun here for the quarterback. Metcalf's going to be Flickinger coming up. And a nice tackle. All Xavier Tyus' safety did was come up, spy a little bit, and get the one-arm grab on Flickinger on the run. It'll keep it at no gain. It'll be 2nd and 10, maybe a slight gain, but still 2nd and 10 for the Aces with 7:35 to play in the first half, and this Ram defense has come to play.
Well, you've got a stunned Mount Carmel group. How many times has somebody stepped up and thumped them around this year?
Amen to that as Metcalf gets some nice protection, looking to pass down the sideline, and this one is going to be out of the reach. And a nice hop over the bench there to clear and not trip over it by Austin Thompson. That play was probably more impressive than anything we've seen tonight.
That might have been the play of the year. Might have been the play of the year.
I don't know. The Cardinal linebacker carrying Shamark Bursey off was pretty impressive on the run.
I don't care, but that guy just hopped.
He leaped over
He
the
had
bench.
to look over, then look back, and then hop and get steps going. That's dangerous injury there.
3rd and 10 for the Aces. Rams fans are on their feet, stomping in support with 7:17 to play in the first half, tied at 15. Aces will not empty out the backfield. They'll keep Flickinger there. Out of the shotgun, make that the pistol for Reese Metcalf. Play action, looking at the roll left side. Almost picked off by Graham Hinkin, and that'll force 4th and 10.
I get the feeling that Metcalf, in watching some film and watching him live, he's a guy that takes a lot of risks. And that time there, he threw it to the wrong guy. Wrong read that time on the play, went into that route. And the hot route was away on the other side towards him on the left side, wanted the big play, and that wasn't going to work in that case.
So Doug Gardner will be back to return the punt. He is in Ram territory at about the 35-yard line between the hashes. Ball is spotted inside the far hash. Metcalf, the quarterback, will punt out of max protection. Gardner looked like he touched it, did he? We'll find out as Jacoby Marshall trying to win the battle to get back to the football. It is near the Ram 20, and Mount Carmel has it.
Well,
so now they get a big break on a fumbled return.
And now you just start and you continue this drive, and now a new drive on that fumble. They tried to go up and catch it. The referees are going to talk it over. Hold on.
We know
when officials
happens.
get together from the World Series, you'd rather get it right than wrong.
As it stands right now to be 1st and 10 Mount Carmel, but what happened there is Doug Gardner went after it with probably not a very good chance at coming up with it. Seeing a chance to get some running room and get some return yardage. We'll see what they're talking about here at about the 21-yard line at the far hash.
They touched it first.
So 7:02 to play in the first half. As it stands right now, this game is tied at 15. We'll keep you up to date on what is going on in the field. Of course, always bank on your hometown team. QD First Bank, home with a one account, featuring free checking and high-yield interest. Member FDIC.
Mount Carmel will have the football. The drive starts now at the Rams' 20-yard line with 7:02 to go.
It'll be 1st and 10. Ball at the Mount Vernon 21. It'll be right at the far hash for the Aces. They have great field position here as the Rams have a special teams miscue of their own. To the right side, Klein. To the right slot, Laws. It'll be Allen and Thompson to the left. Out of the pistol. Looking for the right side, the left-hander. And this will be in and out of the hands in the end zone for Caleb Klein. And he came up empty on a touchdown.
Oh, he was there. He beat his defender rather easily with a couple of fakes. An out and an up, as they call it. And the ball hit him right in the worst place to hit him right in the hands. That's how guys who are wide receivers become defensive backs.
They'll respot the football at the Mount Vernon 21-yard line. Far hash, 2nd and 10 for the Aces. 6:58 to play in the half. Still tied at 15, but the Aces looking to striking it back on top as they've led most of the game. Laws and Klein right. Pistol set. Thompson and Allen on the left, and this one's going to be handoff, I believe. Thought that was Miller up the middle.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Yep.
Got past the 20, down to about the 20, we'll say the 24. So it'll be 3rd and 5 with 6:42 to play in the first half. Rams will have the football to start the second half, if they can come up with it. So 3rd and 5, 6:30 to play in the first half. It'll be shotgun set now. Same personnel. Miller's still the feature back, and we are going to have
timeout.
Timeout. Is it going to be timeout, Mount Vernon?
Timeout, Mount Vernon.
It is. And the Rams will take this timeout presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy at 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the local community, as well as the Rams and Lady Rams. With that said, it is past the top of the hour. We'll pause for station identification on the Rams Radio Network.
watch online at WMIXsports.com or crank us up on WMIX, WMIX FM, Mount Vernon. A free service from Withers Broadcasting.
Free indeed. We have great sponsors, so you don't have to pay to watch or listen to Mount Vernon Rams Athletics here on WMIX and WMIXsports.com. I'm Chris Hugo. Danny Czerwinski is to my left. Jeff Crow, of course, handles the video angles online. Holly Carroll back at that aforementioned Mount Vernon studio, of course, as we're working on getting you updates on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Give us a follow. We'll update you on air as well. Plenty of times throughout the night. So after all of that,
timeout, catch your breath, get things calmed down. That's what's going to happen here. And Mount Vernon needs a defensive stop.
Yeah, and some.
Yeah,
Three
and some.
Three to the right. It'll be Thompson, the lone man left. Feature back will be Tony Miller out of the shotgun for Metcalf, and this is going to be option read. Metcalf's going to roll to the left side. Looks like he has first down yardage. He gets to about the 15 or a little more.
He got the
Close
yard.
to the 10.
Yeah,
he got what he needed. No guessing trying to try through all that mess of jerseys over there.
Well, he didn't exactly want to duck his head and go either, if you noticed.
He is near.
He didn't want to do much with that.
6:08 to play in the first half, tied at 15. The Rams have made a game of it.
Timeout for measurement.
So they're going to measure. I say first down.
I think it's first down, the way that side judge came running through. We'll see what it is. They reset the chains.
Well, about an arm hair short.
Okay.
All right, then.
Take that break.
Brings up a fourth down in inches.
Well, there you go. WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by King City Chrysler Center, home of the Express Lane, fast oil changes, and more. It's service without an appointment at 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
And in exact science, the spotting of the football and the chains.
You betcha. With 6:08 to play in the first half, WMIX AM 940, WMIX 94.1 FM. What you may not realize also, W243 AV FM 96.5 Flora and W229 AU 93.7 FM Fairfield also tuned in tonight. Fourth and short for the Aces. Going to go for it here. It has to be from Reese Metcalf. Dialing his own number here. That's exactly what it is, and he gets the yard he needs for first down.
Just got to keep it. He's tall enough at 6'4". He's going to get some leverage from his line. Dive forward. You eliminate the handoffs, and you move on from there. And this is one of those where you get back in the ball game, and Mount Carmel's driving it down the field with 6 minutes to go and can take some of that momentum back from you.
We'll see what happens. First and 10. Make it first and goal from the 9, for the Aces. Deep into Ram territory, deep into the red zone with 5:55 to play in the first half. Tied right now at 15. Maybe the Rams can come with a big turnover here. Mount Carmel out of the pistol. Everybody pretty well on the right side. And Miller's going to break up the middle, and he dives just short of a touchdown after a great touchdown-saving tackle by the Ram linebackers. And that, I think that was Jacob Williamson.
What was a loud crowd a while ago is now quiet on this side, the east side of J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium.
Just a small special teams miscue could haunt the Rams here. I know it's haunted the Aces on second and goal from the 2. Miller's not going to get much off of it on the inside handoff up the far side. It'll be third down now for Mount Carmel again. Tied at 15 if you're just joining us. 5:15 to play in the second quarter. We'll have a pretty loaded up second chance auto halftime show. Scores, MVTHS Minute, Rams Report, you name it. Plenty of content. Also have some stats. There's those.
Interesting play call here from Mount Carmel. I know it's third down. And this would be the opportunity to do a little play action here if you're Mount Carmel. You can't do it on fourth down. It wouldn't do any good.
Of course, if you're tired of waiting, you might also be tired of big corporate banking. You have a choice in Jefferson County. Community First Bank is at home in Dixon and Woodlawn and Mount Vernon. Welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Play call was so interesting. Mount Carmel called timeout. If I'm Mount Carmel here, I know you've done a decent job running the football. I would run a little play action here on third down, suck that defense in, see what you get, a little read option either way, because you can't run the football here and then try play action on fourth down. No defense will bite on it.
See what they do here. Timeout is presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the local community, including Rams and Lady Rams Athletics here on WMIX. 8 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. It's a chilly night in October here in the King City. Senior night from Mount Vernon Township High School's J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Mount Vernon Conference wrapped up today. That'll be the topic of your MVTHS minute, more like a minute and a half.
Good conference again, 34th annual. Good conference to attend the last 2 days for teachers like me.
I got to be here for the 30th anniversary celebration. I saw you here, as a matter of fact.
I'm usually here both days, quite a bit.
I'm vouching for you. I know you come. You put your
Ron Daniels
time
and the
in.
ROE did an outstanding job this year in this day and era of state cuts and everything else. Ron Daniels and staff did an outstanding job of putting one together for the 34th annual.
Heard the donuts were exquisite. The coffee was fresh.
Great.
Third goal for the Aces. Going to be a handoff again to Miller. Can he dive in for the touchdown? Broke the play, and he gets it on the far hash. It'll be 21-15.
Well, momentum back to Mount Carmel on that 3-yard touchdown run.
All on one special teams miscue. And it's haunted the Rams here late in the second quarter. 4:42 to go. Of course, the Rams will get the football here, barring another possible issue. They'll have it to start the second half, and the PAT is going to come from the Aces, looking to make it a 7-point game, a full touchdown yet again.
7 plays, 20 yards, in about 3 minutes.
Here it comes. Rams trying to get a handoff. Looked like that was wide to the outside. No good. It'll remain 21-15. Because I can't add.
21-15. And that's one of those things, you leave the door open for a team like Mount Vernon, maybe they could get something going here. There goes the helicopter.
All right, take off.
Taking off.
They
They may have to get to Chester for that big upset going on.
Planes, trains, and automobiles to get here at the King City. As the clock stops with 4:42, of course, we wait the ensuing kickoff. 21-15 the score. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams, we hope. Hopefully can come up with the football.
So, planes taking off. Train went by earlier. Plenty of automobiles out there. If you're out there listening in the car and the vehicles, flash your lights. Because I know it's cold and some people want to sit and watch the football game from their cars. There's a flasher down by the scoreboard.
There we go. There's a few.
Car flasher, not anything else.
Appreciate it. You don't have to be embarrassed. Don't be shy.
Right.
There you go. The one I was looking at over there flashed it for me.
Thank you for
over
listening.
Near the railroad track. Thank you.
Well, Highland's going to go 9-0. They're destroying Charleston 49-0. Of course, Charleston's a Mount Vernon opponent next year.
Muscuda, Centralia. 24-7 at the half, Muscuda. That one just came in. I think they're flustered about something over there. As this will be another squib picked up by the hyphen, trying to break yardage as he stays on his feet, diving past the 45 to about the 48. Pardon me, Jylen Rush with a hyphen-like return.
Boy, Centralia be another team. You just shocked if they don't get in the playoffs.
Am I allowed to be excited about the future of a player? Because sophomore Jylen Rush has me pretty excited.
You don't want to cross that homer line. I've been there before.
As somebody who will get to witness him over the possibility of 18 more regular season games over the next 2 years, a young sophomore.
I know.
Their own 46-yard line with 4:38 remaining in the first half.
Get another year of Levi Laws that the Rams and Aces should happen to meet next season in Week 9. Quarterback under center, Reeves. He's looking for a man downfield. Now he's going to have to roll all the way to the sideline on the near side. He's at the 40. Wise decision there might have just been to throw the ball away, but steps out of bounds for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't really get going. He's running to his left trying to throw and had a guy chasing him, so unfortunately he's not going to be able to throw that football and takes a loss.
So it'll be 2nd and 13, 4:30 to play in the first half, 21-15 your score. Wait, you some score updates at the half on your Second Chance Auto halftime show.
Yeah, a lot of halftime scores already.
I was going to say, those are quick.
In this game, with 4.5 to go with all the scoring, penalties, and throwing and whatnot, kind of behind.
Started about 10 minutes late. Senior festivities prior to the game. 4:30 to go in the half. The quarterback Reeves will be under center. Looks like the Rams want a timeout. That's the only option left. Rams have 2. The Aces had none. Now it's 1 timeout left for the Rams. Presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy at 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the Mount Vernon Rams. And so the Orphans coming up a little empty there in the first half of football. Muscuda, an unprecedented 24-7 lead. And with the running game, may have gone the Orphans back in Week 5.
Well, Muscuda is 2-6 coming into that one. You thought, boy, Centralia's been waiting, and they've been waiting for a few weeks and stubbing their toe a little bit. Of course, that score comes coming over the PA. Marion's winning 28-6. Carbondale win 28-7. Altoff winning 2013. Kokia and Normal U High is tomorrow. You don't expect Hokie to win. Normal U High is pretty tough. So, I mean, some points rolling in. The South 7 flexing a little muscle tonight, at least on the road or in non-conference play.
Carbondale leads Harrisburg 28-7.
Not shocked. There's another team that will go down. Carbondale beating Harrisburg. That's another team be out. And then Centray is out. I mean, there's some teams there you banked on the last couple of years that aren't in. Harrisburg and DuQuoin, if the score stayed the same, it has been since 1977, we tweeted this earlier in the week, that both teams have missed the playoffs in the same year.
It's been an unusual occurrence, I know that. 2nd and 13 for the Rams, ball on their own 43-yard line. Quarterback Reeves under center, Miller Gray in motion, inside. Nope, it's going to be Reeves on the fake on the inside handoff. That's plenty of running room to the right side. He's at the 50, 45, 40. Still on his feet. He broke a couple of tackles, past the 40 down to about the 35. So that'll be a gain of about 23 on the ground. It'll be a first down run for Reeves. 4:22 to play in the first half.
Third first down of the half. Mount Vernon needs to run this ball and get down in the end zone at the very least, even if you don't score. Keep it out of the hands of Mount Carmel right now.
Interesting to see what the Rams are able to do here. Don't forget, Rams football is presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. With 5 Jefferson County branches and responsive quality service for all of your accounts, Community First Bank would like to be the first to say, welcome back to personal banking, member FDIC. It'll be a quick pitch coming to the left side. Montez Miller Gray finds some running room. He's at the 30, 25, getting to the 20, trying to break to the near sideline. 10, 5, almost taken out, but it's a touchdown. And the Rams have tied it at 21 on a 35-yard scamper by the hyphen.
How about that? Around the corner, that's all it was. And Miller Gray goes 35.
Well, that'll add to the tally.
Yep. 4 touchdowns in the second quarter between the two teams. He just stretched it out. When he gets out there and turns upfield, there's not a lot anybody can do with him.
Rams hoping not to leave any points on the field here, trying to get the PAT to take the lead. It'd be their first lead of the night. 21-21. A point after from C.J. Lloyd. Reed Millwood is on the hold. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up. Is the kick good? It is, and the Rams have their first lead of the night. Looky there, 22-21, the Rams are on top. What a good play. Make your own great play when you open a Community First Bank free high-yield checking account that earns cash back. Even better. Just ask for one, member FDIC.
And Mount Vernon and their crowd back into this, and Mount Carmel probably didn't expect to be in this much of a fight here on the road at Mount Vernon at this point in the stage with the way the games have gone the last few years. 3 plays, 56 yards in about a minute. It's not bad.
Unreal. So just when you thought a special teams mishap may cost the Rams any signs of momentum, a great run by DeMontez Miller Gray of 35 yards to get him in the end zone to give him the lead.
And the thing was, it wasn't anything fancy, just a pitch play out to the left side to stretch the field. And he turns the corner. And again, you have to credit the blocking on the end, the receiver and the tight end, pushing those defenders back to the middle of the field and letting him cut around that corner. You have to have receivers that are unselfish to block in this offense.
Ho-hum hyphen is what I call it. Just another Miller Gray run. As we had everything going out there but a football. Rams will retrieve that and they'll kick off.
Is that why they missed the kickoff to start the game? There wasn't one out there?
One would like to make that claim. And that may be Dylan Reeves' story for years to come.
Well, we'll ask Big Brother Clayton about it. He'll tell us the truth. He always does.
And there, ladies and germs, your obligatory Clayton Reeves name drop for the night.
Clayton Reeves mentioned.
Check.
Oh, Marion's all over Normandy. Whew. As expected. More points for Mount Vernon. Not as if Mount Vernon needed any more.
3:54 to play in the first half. Rams will have the football to start the second half. And this is going to be on the ground again. Flickinger wiser this time. Ooh, he had some struggles with it, but is able to pick it up. And now this is going to be a hard hit at about the 35. He started about the 30. Had some issues with it. Got about 5 yards on the kickoff return. And that's where Mount Carmel will start with the football. As the Aces will have it 1st and 10 on their own 36-yard line. Far hash with 3:48 to go in the first half. Rams on top, 22-21.
Defense. Mount Vernon needs a stop. Get into halftime. Take your chances.
Mount Carmel will have it 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line with 3:48.
I think the Ace is a little surprised at the hand they've been dealt here in the second quarter. Caleb Klein split to the right, Laws in the right slot. On the other side, it's Allen and Thompson. Your back end of the pistol is Flickinger, and this is going to be a hard hit. That'll be incomplete. It was complete at about the 35. to Allen, and Jacoby Marshall levels the boom. So incomplete pass. Really never complete if it's an incomplete pass, but I think you get what I'm saying. Had the football and then lost it. What a big hit by Jacoby. The corner comes up big that time. 2nd and 10 for the Aces. Clock stops at 3:44. 1 point game. Rams on the good side of it, 22-21. One timeout left for the Rams, none for the Aces.
Benton another 4-4 looking to go home after 9.
This is going to be a quick pass to Laws. Able to get a shoestring grab. He's going to make a nice little run for it. He's at the 45, pulled down. Great tackle that time by Robert Greider. Shy of midfield is about the 49-yard line. The point is, it's a 13-yard gain. Clock stops to move the chains. Ball will be at the Mount Carmel 49-yard line. Outside from our vantage point, the near hash.
Well, that was one of those he picked off his shoestrings and was able to get down the field.
So it'll be at the 49-yard line. 3:30 to play in the first half. Out of the pistol, it's going to be a quick handoff to Flickinger, and the Rams were able to sniff it out.
Nothing doing there for Mount Carmel. Got lost in the shuffle of black jerseys defensively for the Rams. That was a much better job by Mount Vernon to pursue and group tackle in that case.
Great job by the running back to brace himself for another Heiner tackle.
One on the play for Mount Carmel will bring up a 2nd down and 11.
Heiner, I believe, now has coming in tonight, had 54 total tackles. 3 minutes to play in the first half, 22-21. It's 2nd and 11 for the Aces. Ball on their own 48-yard line. Working the pistol again, 2 left, 2 right for the quarterback, Reese Metcalf. Left-hander's looking for the deep man. This one's going to be over the top, incomplete for Levi Laws. In and out of his hands. I think that's a case where Laws coming over the top on a slant route. Saw a little bit of yardage in front of him and couldn't come up with the pass first to make it 3rd and 11.
And that was a case, too, of Metcalf leading him too much, trying to throw it out there, and then a little pressure. And unfortunately for Metcalf, again, I see some things that this Mount Carmel team, Metcalf is a very good quarterback, but sometimes his decision-making and fancy feet, dancy feet gets him in trouble.
2:48 to play out of 3rd down. This one will be complete in the backfield to Flickinger, but there to pick up the tackle is the tackle, Trevor Schubert.
Well,
so that'll make it a long series here. It should be 4th and long for the Aces with 2:30 to play. Here in the first half, 22-21, Rams on top. Brian Reynolds taking this one in.
Right now, this, if you're Mount Carmel, Mount Carmel is known to punt here. Mount Vernon's letting the clock run, even with that one timeout left at this point.
I have a feeling the Rams may be a little gunshot in a possible return. Metcalf will get the punt off. That was a good block.
He going to lead at halftime with the lead, a 1-point lead, getting the end zone. Nope, it's not going to.
That one is about to cross the plane, and they almost knock it across.
Why did they touch that? Wow.
They touched the football that was going to come to a natural rest outside the goal line, and this one's going to be a touchback. The Rams will have 1st and 10 from their own 20. A minute 56 left here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20. The Rams on top, 22-21.
From our angle, and we're way away in the field storming, and you can't see what's going on. Very tough to tell. However, the way the football was laying there spinning and dying, you wonder if it actually touched the line. The kids were trying to flip it back or what. But, again, Mount Vernon gets a break, the ball in the end zone.
Quarterback Reeves will be under center. 2 on the left, 1 on the right. And this is going to be a quarterback keeper. Saw that coming.
Yeah, I did too. Wasn't going to say nothing until it was over. Won't say when, but this is an interesting score from here that will go around and rattle some people.
I think so.
And I think the listenership will go up once people get in their vehicles at their games, because we're behind a lot of other people tonight.
Yes, we are. That means a big scoreboard wrap-up in our post-game show. We'll show you what we're made of tonight. 22-21 the score. Rams trying to show the Aces what they're made of. With a minute 22 to go in the first half. Reeves, the quarterback, under center, look for the quick pitch to Miller Gray. Coming to the near side. He's going to have to cut. Almost brought down from behind.
That's not a horse collar, just a tackle.
As that will be a tackle for a loss of about 4 yards at about the 18-yard line.
The horse collar hand has to go inside the pads in the jersey, that time just on the back of the jersey. Bree Central, another team. They're up big at the half over East Altonwood River. That's another team to watch out for in Class 4A for teams around here. And this right now, Mount Vernon content. They can run the clock, but they are calling a penalty here on Mount Carmel. And now we got a 5-yard face mask, it looks like.
Perhaps.
Yeah, that's what it is. Mount Carmel, 8th penalty of the night. And if you're Mount Vernon, you can run this clock out, go to halftime with a lead, and then, of course, you get to start the second half with the football. There's some options here for the Rams.
Definitely options. Maybe they can, speaking of which, maybe we can use that to some effectiveness. Lloyd will line up in the right slot, split to the right. Marshall. On the left is going to be Gardner. Reeves is going to roll to the far side. Feigns a pass, able to dip it out to Miller Gray. Makes a nice cut at the 35. Shy of the 40 at about the 39-yard line. It's going to be a first down to stop the clock with 40.8 seconds. First and 10 for the Rams.
For Miller Gray. Interesting stuff. But there's a flag. You can see in here.
Kind of wondered. Because even for DeMond says, I was...
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah, I'll wipe that run out. Mark that off.
We'll say the white hat doing a very good job
of
informing both sides.
Yeah, this crew is very good.
Shows signal one side, comes back to the other, and you don't often see that a lot.
They've been in some games before, obviously. Third penalty on Mount Vernon, 20 yards.
So if you're Mount Vernon here, clock will run again. Do you just take a knee?
I think in this case, you're up. You take a knee. That would make it third down. Take a knee, go to half. Enjoy what you have here as far as this goes. Snap the ball with about 5 seconds. Take the knee. That's what they're doing. Mount Vernon's going to go to half.
I saw Robert Grider check in on offense. That was going to be the case, and that's what is going to happen here. 22-21, Rams on top. They'll take the knee. And that'll wind down the first half clock. And I think if you're Jared Shaner of the Mount Vernon Rams, you have to be enthusiastically pleased with this first half score. After 2 quarters of play, the Mount Vernon Rams 22, the Mount Carmel Golden Aces 21. We'll take a break, come back with your Second Chance Auto halftime show. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Rend Lake College and Southeastern Illinois College are teaming up to provide safe lane training for Southern Illinois. Safe lane training is for professionals in the oil and natural gas industry. RLC and SIC are offering this 8-hour safe lane course for only $95. Classes will be offered in Carmine, Harrisburg, Ina, McLeansboro, and Wayne City to start. Call 618-437-5321, extension 5804 for more information on safe lane training from Rend Lake College and Southeastern Illinois College.
The tradition of fine vehicles and great service continues at Second Chance Auto. They've been providing quality cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs for families like yours for over 33 years, and many are priced under $10,000. Plus, most have a 3-month or 3,000-mile warranty. Bank rate financing available with instant approval. No gimmicks, no pressure, just honest deals on great vehicles from your friends and neighbors at Second Chance Auto, living and contributing back to the community they serve. Located on Route 142 East in Mount Vernon, call 244-4582.
This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports. The Second Chance Auto halftime show starts now.
WMIX, WMIX-FM, WMIXsports.com. Glad to have you with us on the Second Chance Auto halftime show. Senior night from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium, and the Rams are on top of Mount Carmel. 22-21 here at the half. Second Chance Auto in Mount Vernon has a vehicle to meet your needs and your budget. There's a reason Second Chance Auto has been around for 33 years. They offer the largest selection in one location. That means no fancy sales gimmicks, no pressure, just honest deals on great vehicles with bank rate financing available for all. There's a reason they've been here for 33 years. See for yourself at Second Chance Auto on Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Your Rams report to come, also your MVTHS Minute. We'll get you a pretty extensive scoreboard update. We'll get you some scoring and stats. We are Chris Hugo and Danny Czerwinski on WMIX in D.C. Looked bleak when it was 15-0. Rams come back, have a solid second quarter, and end up with a 22-21 lead, plus the football in the second half.
Well, it's a nice start. It's a nice belief. Are you going to be happy with this, having the first half in your books, or do you want to get greedy and get more? My guess is Mount Vernon wants to get another win here and get the 6. And haven't seen Mr. Gardner today working here at the conference in Mount Vernon. Mr. Gardner said he was going to be greedy, and I expect the Rams to be greedy for this 6th win.
I believe it was Doug Gardner last basketball season that said playoffs. Well, there you go. Doug Gardner apparently knows what he's talking about, a little thing or two about Mount Vernon Rams football. We know a thing or two about Mount Vernon Rams athletics. We'll get to your Rams report here in just a moment. First, we need to take a quick break on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. Quick reminder, at the half, it is Mount Vernon 22, Mount Carmel 21. Tomorrow night, it's a selection show party in the Mount Vernon Township High School Auditorium. Of course, 7:45 is when the Gridiron Club is going to open the doors for all to come in and see just whom the Rams are going to play in the postseason 1 week from now. That'll be tomorrow night, 7:45 on campus in the auditorium. Take it in, support the Mount Vernon Rams. Show up for a great show. It'll be tomorrow night. We'll take a break on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. This is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
More Americans are on the move today than ever before. One of the most popular modes of transportation is the motorcycle. Motorcycles take us to our jobs, school, to the beach, and all around the country. If you're a bike rider, your Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview in Mount Vernon, wants to make sure you have the best insurance protection while you're riding. Ask about the money-saving auto cycle discount and the experienced driver discount, too. Call Page Insurance at 242-7000 today about motorcycle insurance from Pekin Insurance.
Who has Ford certified sales and service technicians? Schmidt Ford of Salem. Who has a huge selection of new and pre-owned inventory? Schmidt Ford of Salem. Who gives top dollar for your trade-in? Schmidt Ford of Salem. Where should you buy your next vehicle? Schmidt Ford of Salem. Come join our growing family. Shop online at schmidtfordofsalem.com or give us a call at 618-548-1711.
This is Mount Vernon Rams football, powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland.
Welcome back to the Second Chance Auto Halftime Show. With the Rams Report, I'm Tyler Barker for WMIX Sports. Rams soccer season came to a close after a hard-fought battle in the Carbondale Regional, falling to the Marion Wildcats 1-0. Mount Vernon Scholar Bowl had a strong showing with a second-place finish in the Heron Tournament. Mount Vernon beat Centralia, Marion, and Murfreesboro, but lost to Heron and always tough Carbondale. Senior Wyatt Beatty correctly answered 34 toss-up questions, earning his second MVP honor of the season. The Rams are 8-2 on the season. Lady Rams tennis saw the double team of Katie Rainey and Gori Kashol advance to state after finishing second in the Carbondale sectional this past weekend. Rainey and Kashol fell to Belleville East Savannah Martin and Rebecca McIsaac 6-1, 6-2, and Ottawa Township's Maria Kavanaugh and Bailey Bradish 6-7, 6-1, 6-0. Running Rams and Lady Rams cross country was idle this week in anticipation of the Highland Regional tomorrow. Lady Rams volleyball finished up regular season match play on the road this week. Wayne City toppled the Lady Rams in 3 sets on Tuesday, 16-25, 26-24, 25-18. While Carbondale bested the Lady Rams 25-20, 19-25, 25-16 last night. Lady Rams volleyball heads to the Fairfield tourney tomorrow. Freshman football wrapped up their season with the Highland Bulldogs last night in a defensive battle. The Bulldogs beat the Rams 8-0. The Rams finished 4-5. That's your Rams report for this week, and this is Rams football powered by Community First Bank.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new one account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
This is Chase Landers with Landers Collision Centers. Imagine this. You're driving down the road. It's dark as can be outside. Thank goodness you just had that left headlight bulb replaced. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see a thing. Now, close your eyes. Okay, don't close your eyes. You're supposed to be driving. Imagine noticing a slight twinkle off to the left, just above the ditch. What is that, you think to yourself? All of a sudden, whack! You've just encountered your first deer hit. The left side of your vehicle is beat up pretty bad. The next thing I want you to imagine is very simple. Taking up your phone and dialing 1-888-LANDERS to set up your repair. Your claims are common, and usually a very simple process, which fall under comprehensive coverage. This is Chase Landers asking you to allow Landers to be your collision repair shop of choice. Whether it be a deer hit, fender bender, or the regular, sorry mom, Landers is here for you whenever you need it. Big or small, Landers fixes them all. 1-888-LANDERS, that's 1-888-LANDERS.
This is Joanne Joy with Community First Bank. You're listening to the Rams on WMIX.
You are listening to the Rams on WMIX. It's your Second Chance Auto halftime show. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. You're watching it at WMIXsports.com. Second Chance Auto in Mount Vernon has a vehicle to meet your needs and your budget. There's a reason Second Chance has been around for over 33 years. That's why they offer the largest selection in one location with no fancy sales gimmicks, no pressure. Just honest deals on great vehicles with bank rate financing for all. Second Chance Auto. There's a reason they've been around for 33 years. See for yourself. Woo! What a game here tonight at the half. 22-21, the Mount Vernon Rams on top of the Mount Carmel Golden Aces. Of course, we'll get you some scoring and stats here in just a moment. Don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports. Maybe if we don't give you your updates frequently enough, you can always find them on there. Give us a follow, and let's look at some scoring and stats.
Well, Mount Vernon only had 5 first downs by my count in the first half compared to 12 for Mount Carmel. 3 turnovers apiece for both teams. Penalties, Mount Vernon 3 for 20, Mount Carmel 8 for 40. The rushing department, Mount Vernon with 87 yards in the first half compared to 97 for Mount Carmel. The Rams only had 10 yards passing in the first half compared to 181 for Mount Carmel. So the total yardage by my unofficial count is 279 and 97 for Mount Carmel, but the most important thing is Mount Vernon leads at the half 22-21.
They do lead here at the break, and that is important. When you look at how this game started, Mount Carmel, of course, kind of had the foot on the neck of the Rams, up 15-0. Rams come back to tie it at 15. Then, of course, a special teams miscue evolves into a Mount Carmel touchdown run. Then the Rams come back at 35 yards on the ground on a TD run by DeMontez Miller-Gray, and have been on top ever since. The PATs tonight have been huge for the Rams. Of course, having made 2 and then getting a 2-point conversion. So rare perfection tonight after the touchdown for the Rams, and that is key.
It's something that this team has worked on all the way through. It's been a struggle. It's been much maligned. It's been much talked about. Credit Coach Shaner and staff for getting out, working on that, and this thing working out here. And, again, it's just one of those things where you get things going, you get a little momentum. You got a team that's highly ranked in the state. And right now, you have them on the ropes a little bit, and it would be so nice if Mount Vernon could come out here in this third quarter off their first drive and start to take over a little bit and get a score and maybe go up 8-9 points.
See what the Rams can do. They will have the football to start the second half. You're going to have an MVTHS minute coming your way. We'll get you that. Coming up after the break on your Second Chance Auto halftime show, 22-21, Mount Vernon on top. We'll get you some score updates upon our return as well. This is Rams football, powered by Community First Bank.
I'm Edie Ralph Dave Bowers. We'll look at your next round weather. Clearing and cold tonight with a freeze. Low temperature near the record of 25. Last reached in 1999. Tomorrow bright and sunny, but still cool. High 52. Clear and cold tomorrow night, low 31 to 35. Saturday, sunny to partly cloudy. A warmer afternoon with a high 65. And then on Sunday, partly sunny, a high 54 to 58. Next round weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
At Banterra, we understand that banking is a relationship. It's a friendly face that knows your name, understands your needs, supports your goals. Banterra offers a complete range of personal and business banking products with competitive rates and loans that range from small projects to multi-million-dollar opportunities. We offer conveniences such as online banking, mobile banking, and direct deposit. For a strong community bank with exceptional customer service, Banterra is a smart choice for your banking needs. Banterra Bank, a proud supporter of Southern Illinois high school sports. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back to the Second Chance Auto Halftime Show. I'm Tyler Barker on WMIX and WMIXSports.com. Get honest deals and bank rate financing at Second Chance Auto. They're your home for the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles under $10,000. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Now here's a look at your MVTHS Minute. The annual Mount Vernon Conference wrapped up today. The 2-day educational in-services have typically drawn between 1,500 and 2,000 educators from across the state. One of the main focal points in 2013 was the implementation of the new Illinois Common Core Standards. These standards set new requirements for student learning language, arts, and mathematics. Most sessions were geared towards this implementation. Educators attend a variety of workshops in 1- and 2-hour blocks. The Mount Vernon Conference has allowed educators, administrators, and coaches to congregate, receive instruction, and trade principles and ideas for further use in the classroom. Attendees were also treated to a performance from the MVTHS Pep Band, performed along with a student performance of the National Anthem. The Mount Vernon Conference has been held the 4th Thursday and Friday in October for over 30 years. That's this week's MVTHS Minute, where WMIX Sports explores the best in arts and academics at Mount Vernon High School. Stay tuned for next week's installment. We'll take a break. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Hi, this is Melody True, Relationship Specialist with People's National Bank in Mount Vernon. People's National Bank has the best of both worlds. We are a locally family-owned bank that can offer you the big bank products and services. Products like free checking, online banking, bill pay, and mobile banking. We have the products and the services to meet the needs of your personal and family life in today's world. Stop by any People's National Bank branch and ask about any one of our great products. People's National Bank, serving Southern Illinois since 1909, member FDIC.
High school sports are back, and your source for scores is WMIXsports.com. Also, find archived local sports broadcasts, video highlights, national sports headlines, and more right at your fingertips. Listen and watch live WMIX sports broadcasts from your desktop or any mobile device. Need a score? Want to see a sick dunk? Miss a game? Didn't get up in time for the Saturday sports show? That's right. It's all at WMIXsports.com. Another free service from Winners Broadcasting. WMIXsports.com. Watch the Rams online at WMIXsports.com. Powered by Red Lake College.
Watch them live online at WMIXsports.com, or after the season, you can watch them online again at WMIXsports.com. Had some questions again coming up. Why isn't the Ram video archived on WMIXsports.com? Well, we're doing audio for now when the Rams should have to be eliminated, hopefully Thanksgiving weekend at Champaign, or actually at the Calb. Hopefully the Rams, when that elimination would occur. But when that happens, we'll start uploading the Rams video on WMIXsports.com. Until then, enjoy video highlights and audio archives for Rams football, or last year's video and the year before that as well. It's all up there at WMIXsports.com. Too much to talk about at the moment. We need to get you updated on some scores here on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. Quite a few interesting battles already starting some second half action, I think.
Near halftime, Jacksonville trailed Rochester 28-17. Altoff was up on Triad at the half, 20-13. In the third quarter, Carbondale all over Harrisburg, 35-14. At the half, Mascoutah led Centralia 24-7. Marion over Normandy out of St. Louis, 48-6. That's the South 7 scores. And in the third quarter, the Black Diamond, it's Carmel all over CZR, 49-14. Bulldogs are going to get their 6th win of the year. You look at Fairfield, who leads Chester on the road, 28-20. They had a 2-touchdown lead down up 8. Johnston City over Hamilton County, 14-2 at half. And Alvarado Trico with a bit of an upset, leading Cesarville Waltonville Woodlawn 20-8 at the half. In the River to River, it's Carlisle over Benton in the third, 18-0. Benton needs that win to even qualify, and right now they're not going to score. Heron over AJ in the third, 35-0. It's Massac over Ballard County, 21-14 in the third. Murfreesboro leads DuQuoin 21-0, looking for their first winning season in quite a while. And Carterville all over Frankfort 15-0 as the Redbirds look like they're going to lose their 14th in a row, and Carterville going to go to 9-0. Columbia over Nashville at the half, over in Washington County, 35-0. Pinckneyville over DuQuoin at the half, 21-8. We have more updates on Twitter at WMIX Sports, and we'll keep you updated throughout the evening, as now Mascoutah is up 31-7 on Centralia in the third quarter.
Of course, that scoreboard update is presented by Tony Wilt, your State Farm agent in Mount Vernon. Get to a better state with State Farm agent Tony Wilt. Find him in his office. Look for him online at TonyWilt.com, or, of course, look for that white State Farm Jeep around town, or give him a call. He still has a landline there at his State Farm office at the corner of 34th and South Water Tower in Mount Vernon. Let's see. Warm-up clock is on. 3 minutes for conditioning, of course, here on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. Still plenty more to diagnose and analyze and break down here as the Rams lead 22-21 over the Mount Carmel Golden Aces. Aces undefeated at the moment at 8-0. Champions of the Big 8 Conference. Rams, of course, finish in second place in the South 7 if you go by overall mark and playoff points, as far as the teams tied at 3-2 behind Marion, who is your conference champion representative again. But you kind of take a look at how things are going, and the Rams obviously in the playoffs, but, man, a 6th win, you don't worry about playoff points.
No, you don't. 5's going to get you in for Mount Vernon because they have so many points the way it is. And here's the key. Is Mount Vernon going to be happy to have a first-half lead? Are you going to get greedy? You want to come out? I think this team will come out greedy in the second half. They're going to have to get more pressure on Metcalf. I think when you pressure Metcalf back during the pistol, he gets happy feet, he forces things, he makes some bad decisions, and we've seen that here in this ball game. Now, what Mount Vernon has to also do offensively is they have to get something going running the football. They've not been able to run the football very much tonight for big yardage, except for a couple of hyphen runs. Other than that, the power game has to come back. So this is a couple things that Mount Vernon has to take care of. I think you have to pressure Metcalf. You got to start running the football a little bit, and then take your chances from there and see what goes on.
And we will see what goes on, of course, over the course of this second half of action. Conditioning clock is about halfway over at 1 minute and 30 seconds. So we'll get started with second half action in just a moment. We remind you, Rams football is presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. Always bank on your hometown team. Community First Bank, home of the One account, featuring free checking And high yield interest. Remember FDIC, I hear you can just ask for one. It's that simple.
Well, Fairfield got a lead, but Chester storming back, trying to keep that big, long winning streak alive. Here's another score of interest. Freeburg up 9-7 late third. I believe on Salem. I saw Mater Dei was beating Waterloo at the half. That's another score of interest to a lot of fans listening here on 94.1 FM and all our entities. And a huge scoreboard coming up later on.
Definitely. As we're one of the last ones out of the gate tonight on senior night. Got it started about 7:10. And now looking to get second half action sometime in the realm of about 8:45. Interesting.
Well,
got that out of the way. Woof. Okay, now back to the call of the game here on WMIX. We're on AM and FM tonight. We're on AM and FM the rest of the way. Video, of course, online throughout the postseason at WMIXsports.com, as IHSA policy would effectively supersede any blackout policy in any high school the rest of the way. So we're very happy to announce that.
Pinckneyville leads DuPont 22-16 at home in a matchup there, and Massac now tied with Ballard 21-all. Reason we read that Massac score, you're saying, well, Massac, they're 2-6. Why are you giving that score? Well, a lot of Ohio Division teams and some Mississippi Division teams around here need that point.
Exactly, and you take a look now, and some of the Ohio teams need to get in. Of course, Harrisburg trailing, Benton trailing.
Oh, yeah, Benton's losing, Heron's winning, Massac's tied, Murphy's winning, Frankfurt's losing. The Ohio Division, if it works out right tonight and the way it is, will send one team to the playoffs in the Heron Tigers. How many times have you been able to say that in the last 4 or 5 years when Benton and Harrisburg have been rolling?
Hasn't been often.
You look at the Mississippi side, it's Carterville and AJ's not AJ right now the way they're beat up. So it could be a short come time for the River to River next week depending on how they get matched up in the playoffs.
Wasn't there a year like 02 where you sent Frankfurt, Benton,
Oh,
Heron,
yeah.
Massac, Harrisburg all to the playoffs?
Yep.
Everybody outside of Murphy, I believe.
Yep. Massac traveled to Breeze Mater Dei, got beat. I mean, you've had 4 teams in there, and Heron will be the lone duck right now. Carmi's going to get in. They're up 56-14 in the third. They have 6 wins. But, of course, you get 5 wins in a diamond, you get in. Heard that argument today. For and against. In some donut conversation.
Good donuts, I understand.
Oh, donuts are good. Coach Holloway, Coach McClure, Mr. Creel, Coach Turner, they are amazing how they get those donuts. They get up early, make them, and have them ready to go for us at the Mount Vernon Conference every year.
The hyphen officially known as DeMontez Miller Gray back to return at about the 10. The kickoff is going to roll out of bounds. Miller Gray is going to let it go. So Mr. Scott had the right idea. It's kicking off for the 40. Pete Smith, pardon me, not Pete Scott.
Well,
Great Scott, Pete Smith.
Game on, boys. We'll see how tough. There goes a Cardinal fan.
Waltonville Spartans head coach Brian Gamber in attendance.
I think he's Pete Cosma's biggest fan last time I heard.
That's what I saw in the Twitterverse last night.
Thank goodness Big Brother calmed him down, though, on Twitter.
Big Brother, the public address announcer tonight. He'll get busy in just a couple of weeks. I believe on November the 4th is when you can start. Well, that's the case for 1A and 2A, I mean. I'm sorry. Or girls.
11th.
I get confused. I know girls can start on the 4th, right?
It's back.
Yeah.
Last
Look at it, right?
Yeah.
Detail-oriented.
It was girls and Halloween, and this year the back a week.
Split to the left side, Jacoby Marshall for the Rams, starting at the own 35-yard line, far hash. On the right, Jacoby Marshall. Miller Gray will be in motion, inside handoff. No, it's going to be quarterback keeper for Dylan Reeves. Gets maybe 1 yard on the play, gets to the 36. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Good job by the defensive end from Mount Carmel to read that. He kind of got himself squared to look around, and when he got squared to look around, he could see that that ball was kept by Dylan Reeves. Made a nice play there. Johnson City going to get a win. They're up 20-2 after 3 on Hamilton County.
Interestingly enough, it's going to be a big one for them. AT and SVWW in another type of hyphen gathering is one that's kind of got me wondering. Split to the left side, it'll be Doug Gardner. Left slot, it'll be C.J. Lloyd. It's going to be a pitch coming to the near side. Good move by the hyphen Miller Gray, but doesn't get much out of it. He gets to about the 37 for a gain of 1. Used all that body work, and that's something different you see out of Mount Carmel. Watch the waist that time. Able to get the tackle and keep it at 3rd and about 7 or 8.
Yeah, I saw something. Rochester leads Jacksonville 42-17. So much for them missing players and thinking anybody was going to stumble. And a shout out to Mr. K says we're loud and clear on Route 14.
Of course, I understand Charles L. Jamerson Jr. is tuned in as well.
Well, nice.
Yeah.
So I guess he didn't make the trip north.
Well, he was with our boys across the way for a little bit. Now with us, I understand.
Oh, okay.
Glad to have him. Split left and right for the Rams. It's going to be an inside handoff to C.J. Lloyd. He's going to find some running room as he gets a seam, trying to bust to the outside on the far hash. Able to bring up the middle down to midfield between the hashes. It's going to be a gain of 13. The chains will move. No flags on the play. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams at midfield with 10:33 to play in the third. Still 22-21 Mount Vernon.
Mentioned that there, of course. As I said at halftime, you have to establish the running game, and Mount Vernon out of the gate doing that early, getting in the trenches.
The WMIX Sports Mobile Studios, driven by Ford Square, 1501 Broadway in Mount Vernon. View all the inventory online at fordsquare.com. Find them on Facebook. 1st and 10 for the Rams, midfield, 10:19 to play in the third. Rams are going to load up the backs on the right side, looking for the fade route, coming to the near sideline. It'll be too long for Gardner. He got to about the 30 when the pass dropped to about the 27. Good coverage that time from the Aces. That was number 43, Devlin Tomlinson. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Rams with 10:13 to go in this third quarter. Still a 1-point game.
Well, Carlisle up 31-0 at the end of 3 on Benton. And that'll be the end of the Rangers' 2-year run in the playoffs.
Yeek.
And I really thought Benton had a very good chance at that one. I know Carlisle's more of a finesse team, but as it is.
10:13 to play in the third quarter. Rams starting the second half with the football. Pitcher's going to go to the right side. This is going to be Miller Gray to the right, trying to get to the outside. Does so. Brought down past the 45 at about the 43-yard line. It'll be a gain of about 7. It would bring up a 3-yard situation here. Probably 3rd and 3, I believe, as the clock will drop below the 10-minute mark. Community First Bank of the Heartland is the official voice of Rams Athletics on WMIX. Your community, your choice, your bank. With 5 locations and friends and neighbors on staff who understand your needs, Community First Bank keeps it simple. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC.
Mater Dei leading Waterloo in the third after 3.
Nice. That was actually Grider a moment ago. My apologies, as Robert Grider's into the game as a running back.
Timeout.
Harrisburg now trailing Carbondale at the end of 3, 35-14, so Carbondale probably will get in.
Terriers certainly do appear to have the playoff points. Timeout on the field as the Rams won a timeout, so that'll be their first, have 2 remaining with 9:38 left to go in the third quarter. Mount Vernon 22, Mount Carmel 21. Let's see. This timeout is presented by the Medicine Shop of Mount Vernon, 2339 Broadway. Dr. Eric Black and staff, of course, proud to support that local community. That's right here in the King City, but also very proud to support the Rams and Lady Rams in their efforts of athletics.
Well, here's a good point by one of our listeners in Franklin County. They will not have a playoff team.
Nope.
Benton,
first time in how long?
I don't know. The way Franklin County teams are performing, and that's about all I can read, is SVWW is down 28-8.
Yikes.
And that is a shock to lose the Eldorado Trico the way SVWW's kind of been playing with younger guys. We know that. End of 3, Fairfield over Chester, 28-26.
So Marshall's going to be split off to the right side. On the left, it's going to be Doug Gardner. 3rd and 3 from the Mount Carmel 43. Quarterback Reeves will be under center. This is going to be a handoff right up the gut for... I'm going to wait to see the back number. Can't see the hands. That's Robert Griders. He gets to about the 40. It'll be a gain of 3. Could it be first down yardage? It's going to be close.
We'll see.
I think you got to bring the chains in if you're not going to get
Take a link out before you kick them out there.
You got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do at home. You got to figure out ways to change the chains. First down Rams.
There you go. Nice. No need for the chains. 1st and 10 for the Rams. Ball on the Mount Carmel 40. Spotted inside the near hash with 9:20 to go in the third quarter. Still 22-21 Vernoy.
Don't have to change anything. We got first down. Good chain gang will figure that out. You don't have to swap out as much.
Nope. Use the old pivot point. So your backs are Robert Grider, DeMontez Miller Gray, Graham Hinkton. Split to the left, it'll be, that is going to be Doug Gardner as Reeves, the quarterback, so go right up the middle on the QB keeper. Gets to about the 36, gain of 4 will bring up 2nd and 6 for the Rams. Clock drops below the 9-minute mark.
I think Mount Vernon is starting to adjust their plays a little bit. Some patterns are being dropped, running some plays in different places, if you know what I mean.
I feel you.
Yeah, and that's helping them now get some yardage. They're adjusting some things, and you see the Mount Carmel defense kind of, hey, wait a minute, they're not supposed to do that. That's a different formation. It's that time of year you start tricking people a little bit more and more and add things as you go on.
They're going to bring Grider tight. Right slot this time will be Miller Gray. Split left and right, same personnel. Back in the backfield was Graham Hickett. Completed pass to Jacoby Marshall off the right side. He got to about the 31. They may spot it about the 32. If so, it's a gain of 4. We'll see where they actually spot the football. I'm not going to spot it for them. If so, it'll be about 3rd and 2 with about 8:06 to play in the third quarter. Rams are doing what they like to do, and that's kill clock.
Well, and that's the thing. 4-minute drive plus as the clock keeps rolling now. You keep down and distance manageable at this point where you go.
7:54 to play in the third. 22-21 your score. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Jeff Crow brings you the video angles at WMIXsports.com. Holly Carroll back at our Mount Vernon studio. Same personnel, except it's going to be a double wingback set split left and right. Ooh, it's supposed to be a guy in motion. Not going to work out. Reeves is going to roll to the outside, trying to get some running room. Has the first down. Yep. Shy of the 25. Gets to about the 26. Gain of 6 makes it 1st and 10 for the Rams. Clock stops at 7:34.
Boy.
It's still 22-21 Mount Vernon. They are rolling.
I bragged about the defensive end from Mount Carmel earlier. That time he shot after the running back, left the end wide open, and Reeves was almost shocked that it was wide open, turned the corner and got the first down and kept the drive going.
7:34 to play in the third, 22-21. Hope you're watching us online at WMIXsports.com, although we're glad to have you on your terrestrial radio home for local high school sports, WMIX AM and FM. 7:34 to play in the third, 1st and 10. It'll be on the right hash, 26-yard line as the Rams go right to left. The quarterback Reeves is under center, loading up the backs on the left side, trying to open up a run to Miller Gray, and we're going to have a timeout.
Timeout. Boy, Mount Vernon cut that close. That was close. And now Mount Vernon's burned 2 timeouts in his third quarter on the same drive, and that is not a good situation to have as you head down the road.
Timeouts presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the local community. All area teams, and, of course, the Mount Vernon Rams and Lady Rams. 7:34 to play in the third quarter. 1st and 10 for Mount Vernon from the Mount Carmel 26-yard line. Let's see what they can do. Follow us on Twitter at WMIX Sports.
Remember, this drive started on the Mount Vernon's 40. When they run the next play, this will be their 9th play of the drive as they try to keep something going here. If you could march down, knock off 5-6 minutes, get a touchdown, go up 8 or 9, boy, wouldn't that be big as far as momentum goes, and maybe pressure Mount Carmel into something they really probably haven't played from behind very often in this 2013 season.
Really, you look at most of the results. Typical domination. I think the one that only stands out is the rivalry game with
Princeton,
the Cross River rival.
Well, Jasper and Vincennes were very close as well, but really haven't been pushed as much.
Quick pitch coming to the left side. Miller Gray's going to find a seam as he gets past the 25 down to about the 23.
And the other argument on that to finish it is you're going to say, well, Mount Carmel's a 3A school, Mount Vernon's 5 or 6, they should win, yes. But Mount Carmel's schedule, they play same-size schools as basically South 7 Conference, so they're used to the competition and contact that they'll see here tonight and have seen in this game.
Another least common denominator between the two teams is that both of their conferences before joining their current conferences were the North Egypt Conference. Mount Vernon left in 1938-39 to form the South 7 in 39-40. There you go. Not a lot of people know that. Inside handoff is going to be to C.J. Lloyd. The line was able to bust through the offensive line that time. Good job of the D-line linebacking core. It's going to keep it to maybe a 1-yard gain to bring up 3rd and 6 from the 22 on the near side. Not a bad job by Lloyd. It's just the line and linebackers in this 3-3 Aces defense got there in a hurry.
If you got the old jump play, like jumping them off sides as Chester takes a lead 32-28, this might be the time to use it if you're Mount Vernon. Try to draw them off sides.
They're going to split off Marshall to the right. Gardner to the left. Miller Gray, Hinken, and Lloyd are your backs. As this is going to be a nice play for Hinken. No.
Well,
I think we're all fooled by that one as to the 20.
It's okay.
Those Reeves on the fake.
You still get 5 yards. You still get forward progress. That's important.
Everybody up here except for you bought it.
No, I don't buy that little stuff.
No, you don't.
I'm better than that.
So it makes you better than me.
Final score, Murfreesboro wins 21-0. They will have 5 wins and have to hope for the best.
Got to hope for the points. Pinckneyville, with all their effort, concerns me. Lack of points coming tonight. 4th and 3 for the Rams. Quarterback Reeves under center, and this is going to be Reeves rolling to the near side. He's looking to dump off a pass. Complete to Graham Hinken at the 12. Pushed out of bounds at about the 11-yard line. That's going to be a game of 8. Graham Hinken had sure hands on that one. And there you go. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams. Clock pauses at 5:43. Still 22-21. Mount Vernon on top of Mount Carmel.
Well, Mount Vernon driving right now. A lot of fans driving around from their games. They're sitting in their cars listening, excited about the history lesson. And Mount Vernon trying to break history, trying to get into the end zone and get this bleed bigger than just 1 point.
Tyler Bradley, the center, will lead this Ram team to the line of scrimmage. It's at the 11-yard line, near hash in Ram territory. 1st and 10. It's going to be, who else? DeMontez Milligray trying to break near side, cuts back at the 10. He's at the 5, trying to dive forward. Maybe a face mask at about the 1.
Bill Belichick over there to our right, he likes that hard-nosed football, doesn't he?
I think Gamber likes the hyphen.
I don't see his cut-off sweatshirt hoodie, though. And right now, Mount Vernon has an opportunity to go up in this game and by more points. And now you're looking almost a 7-minute drive to start the third quarter. That breaks backs in high school as far as teams on the other side.
Especially if you get a score here. It'll be 2nd and 1 from the 2. They can get a first down without scoring. Quarterback Reeves at their center goal line set. Lloyd in motion. Reeves, does he have enough? Did he break the play? And he got to about the 1 if they give him forward progress. Would it be a first down? We'll find out. Clock drops below the 5-minute mark, and that actually, even though you don't get in, if you do get the first down, you got the yardage. That's actually a benefit. The clock will pause for a second if it is a first down, but the clock will roll.
15th play of the drive right here. Do it again. Get up there. Don't even call any plays. Just tap your center on the rear end and take the ball and go. You don't have to call any snap counts or anything. Do it quick. That's what you do.
4:34 to play in the third quarter, 22-21.
I got to bring this up now real quick. Jared Shanner's wearing a stocking cap, winter coat, and shorts.
Of course. He wouldn't have it any other way. Reeves, the quarterback, under center, split left and right. Wingbacks loaded up on the right side. Reeves is going to plunge ahead. Looked like it had to be a touchdown.
Nope.
Looked like he broke the play from where we sit, but we're not sitting at a very good vantage point for that. So it'll be 2nd and goal for the Rams at the half-yard marker. About a finger short of a touchdown. But the clock will continue to roll. So this drive continues to eat up clock.
8-minute drive plus. Wow. 3:50 and rolling in Mount Vernon here. 2nd and 1. It could be a 10-minute drive.
We'll find out. Wingbacks loaded up on the left side. Reeves, the quarterback under center, split to the right, Marshall. On the left, it's Doug Gardner. 3:39 to go in the quarter, 5 on the play clock. Reeves is going to be stopped again.
That didn't work.
Well, tip the hand, and we're near the top of the hour, at the top of the hour. WMIX FM, Mount Vernon, Marion, Effingham, a free service from Withers Broadcasting. As the clock will continue to roll here, the Rams do have just one timeout. We're in the third quarter, getting late. So Reeves will go talk to Coach Shaner in his short glory. No pants.
Well, he has pants on. He has shorts.
Well, I
don't want to think that's going on.
Well, no, none of that.
Not in this cold. But 3rd and inches, do you play action here? They go out of power I now.
We'll see what they're able to do. What's Reeves going to do with the football? We know what he's not going to do. We see it. That's going to be C.J. Lloyd off tackle. Near hash for the score, and the Rams are going to take a 28-21 lead. They take all the way down to the 2:52 mark of the third quarter. Unbelievable.
9-minute drive. Can you believe that? That is amazing as C.J. Lloyd runs in from 1 yard out.
Unfathomable.
What we said in the pregame they had to do in order to get a win is keep the ball out of the hands of this Mount Carmel outfit. And right now, you can see on that drive a 9-minute drive. Wow. Kick is good, and Mount Vernon, that's even bigger because now they're up 8, 29-21. 9-play drive, about 17 plays as I count here for the Mount Vernon Rams. Unbelievable.
And all of that, as I was looking down, kick is up and good. It's 29-21. Rams are up a touchdown plus a 2-point conversion with 2:52 left to go in the third quarter.
80 yards, 17 plays.
World Series action resumes tomorrow night here on WMIX FM. AM 940, though, you'll have America's Best Music tomorrow night. 6 o'clock is your pregame on the ESPN radio network. Of course, unallowed to carry the Cardinal feed due to Major League Baseball's agreement with ESPN Radio. They have carriage rights of the World Series. 7:07 is your first pitch with Game 3 action from Busch Stadium here on WMIX FM.
Well, the Rams fans on this side of the stadium get antsy. They want to make some noise here, and they are doing it right now with this lead, 28-21.
It is Raber And Tomlinson back to return for the Aces. Past the 10 at about the 7, far and near. 29-21 the score, 2:52 left in the third quarter. Reeves, the quarterback, will kick off. And if it's anything like any of the other kickoffs, it's not going to get to the deep man. It'll probably get to Flickinger at about who stands at about the 25.
Just don't let him run it back. Don't let him have some field position. Make sure you can get something going here.
We'll see what they do. Glad to have you. 3 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour in the Central Time Zone for those of you that may be tuned in worldwide at WMIXsports.com. Dylan Reeves is on to kick, and this one is going to be the same design. Flickinger, it's going to get past him. Tomlinson, my apology, will actually pick it up at the 18, looking to come near side. Great block there by the Aces, but the Rams were able to catch up. Greider started the action. Marshall will get credit for the assisted tackle. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Aces on the near hash at their own 29-yard line. 1st and 10, Mount Carmel trailing 29-21. Unbelievable. Community First Bank of the Heartland, is the official voice of the Mount Vernon Rams. Always bank on your hometown team. Community First Bank, home of the one account, featuring free checking and high yield interest. Member FDIC. 1 and first. I bet that goes together for a reason. Good thinking. Just ask for 1. That Community First Bank. I like it. Now the pistol split left, 2 on each side as the quarterback, Reese Metcalf, on an option run up the middle. He's going to get 12 yards or so on the play, making about 13 as he gets to the 42-yard line. Heck of a run. He caught me off guard. Reese Metcalf, the 6'4 senior, gets a first down for the Aces.
Carmel's going to dig down a little bit here. They're not going to give in. They're going to get something going.
Of course, many thinking, well, the defense had 9 minutes off. Not the case. A lot of these guys play two ways. Is this going to be a quick handoff? Looks like that was... That Levi Laws on the handoff? Yes, it was. Inside handoff between the hashes, doing it all tonight except drive the bus. I don't think he has his CDL. It'll be 2nd and 7 now for the Aces. Good times.
Yeah, everything's blowing up over here.
Blowing up indeed. Glad to have all of you with us, WMIX and WMIX FM tonight on your radio. 2:08 to go in the third quarter. Metcalf's looking to roll left side. Ooh, nice pitch to the out. That's going to be Levi Laws rolling up the outside. He's going to break forward to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. No hope. It's a touchdown. 55 yards on the ground for Levi Laws. I don't see any flags.
Nope. Touchdown, Mount Carmel. That hurt, and that took them less than a minute to get right back into this one.
You would assume that they will go for 2 to try to tie it up at 29. And if you're the Rams and they do that, you hope for a stop. Not to be Captain Obvious.
Well, you just felt so good, and all of a sudden, here they come back.
That's what a team like the Golden Aces will do to you. They're undefeated for a reason. Minute 56 left to go in the third. It's 29-27, 55 yards on the ground for Levi Laws. And they appreciate his athleticism for a reason.
What will Mount Carmel do, tie or go for 2?
Maybe talk it over?
Maybe that, too. Got to look at their little card. Nashville loses to Columbia Knight 42-14.
There we go. They reset the play clock. They're going to go for 2. Metcalf looking for the pass as he comes near side. Is he going to try to roll in the end zone? Has a nice block. Almost saved it for the tackle, but the Rams slip up. And, the quarterback, Reese Metcalf, is into the far corner for 2. It's tied at 29.
And
Doug Gardner thought he had Reese Metcalf at about the 5, slipped through his hands and broke in past the pylon to tie the game. Oh, my.
Yep. You didn't think it was going to go this easily.
If you're watching online, it's courtesy of Ren Lake College. They can save you thousands on your college education. See how and apply online at rlc.edu. Well, there you go. Tied at 29 here in the third quarter with a minute 56 to play. Not bad. So in less than a minute, we're tied. There you go.
Yeah. Got to pay attention.
That's about all you can say. We're on the Twitterverse and WMIX Sports, Facebook as well.
Yeah, phone home. You got that right.
So the Aces will use Pete Smith to kick off. The Montez Miller Gray is going to stand shy of the 15, about the 14-yard line. He'll take a few footsteps back. We'll see what Smith is able to do on the kick.
The
Don't look like he's going to go too much pooch this time, but
no, they got to be careful here. You have to be careful on how much field position you want to give up in this deal.
As this is going to be a booming kick end over end toward the far side. It's going to be about the 9-yard line for the Hyphen. Trying to go up the middle. He's able to cut back, trying to get to the outside. He's going to break at 30, 35, 40. Breaks the tackle at the 45. Now he's pulled down at midfield, now to the 49 in Mount Carmel territory. As that's going to be about a 51-yard kickoff return for DeMontez Miller-Gray if they give him to the 49 with 1:46 to play in the third.
Well, Fairfield right now up 36-32 as they battle back and forth with 4 minutes to go in the game. Our correspondent is over there tonight.
They give him to midfield, so it is 41 yards on the kickoff return. For DeMontez Miller-Gray, he's been huge for the Rams this season, over 1,000 yards rushing. First guy to do it since Joel Rush in 2007. I said 08 earlier, my apologies. Meant 07. Quarterback Reeves under center. Lloyd's going to be in motion. This is going to be an inside handoff to Graham Hinkin. Going to get about half of what he needs for a first down if they give him forward progress. It should be to about the 45, in which case it'd be second and about 5.5.
2nd and 5. The Mount Carmel defense wearing down a little bit, and those who are wondering, we will have a ton of scores when this one is over, as we are running a little behind compared to everybody else.
That's right. 1:20 to play in the third quarter. Tied at 29. The Rams and the Golden Aces. Probably not the kindest spot. It's going to be at the 46 for a gain of 4. Well, there you go. Win some, lose some in the game of field position. Left and right splitter the Rams. In motion Lloyd again. Quarterback Reeves is going to go right up the middle for a gain. We'll see where it ends up. Forward progress, and the judge over here to our side would suggest that it's going to be a gain of about 3. It'd be about 3rd and 3.5 for the Rams. We drop below the 1 minute mark to go in the third quarter. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. We appear courtesy of Community First Bank of the Heartland. Find them online at comfirstbank.net.
Third down and 4 from the Mount Carmel 44-yard line.
Game clock at 38 seconds. Play clock at 14. The Rams are hurrying. Under center is Reeves. This is going to be looked like an inside handoff. Hinkin still trying to run away. Got away from a tackle. Now almost made something out of nothing as he rushes up the far hash. We'll see where they give him forward progress, but they had that play stopped, and Hinkin was able to break away and
kept
maybe get a gain of a yard.
Kept the legs turning. That's the key. Wow. El Dorado Trico up 34-8 on Cessna in the fourth.
Wow, that's a horrible spot. It's a bad spot all the way. But it is what it is, and it's going to be 4th and short now for the Rams. That's not homerism. That's just seeing where everybody was lined up and then seeing where they set the football. So the Rams will have it 4th and 3 when we come back. We're at the end of the third quarter. The Mount Vernon Rams 29, the Mount Carmel Golden Aces 29. Tie ball game. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Your spine is a miracle of engineering. So when pain strikes, your body is telling you to get help fast. The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois is proud to feature their spine care team. Doctors Kowalski and Smith, the professionals at Orthopedic Center, specialize in back and neck pain. So put our spine care team on the job. Find out more online at orthocenter-si.com. Stop the pain, fix the problem, and enjoy life again. The Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new one account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations with 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
Back to Mount Vernon Rams football, powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland.
Fourth quarter action on senior night for J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. 4th and 3 for the Rams on the Mount Carmel 42 near hash. Split left and right. Rams trying to get the Aces to jump. They do.
They did. I called it earlier that they had that play in the back of their book, and of course Mount Vernon been known to use it all year. Caught Mount Carmel a little aggressive that time.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams. The ball will move to the 37-yard line.
10th penalty on Mount Carmel tonight.
Great play by the Rams. Stack 3 up near the line. The wingbacks come up. The end comes up. They draw the Aces off sides. So without any time having any basically come off the clock, it's 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 for the Rams. Gotta love that. First down without any time coming off. Of course, you'd like to kill some time. Get a lead back before you do it, though. Reeves, the quarterback under center. It's going to be an inside handoff. Graham Hinkin gets to about the 35. Still on his feet, though, as he tries to dive forward. Fumbled the football, though.
Recovered by number 3,
Doug Gardner recovers it, and it actually was advantageous for the Rams.
Yep.
Got him some yards.
Well, fumble forward, the old kick it forward play and see what happens, and Mount Vernon catches a major break on that play.
So it'll be about gain of 5 off of the fumble. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Rams. Clock drops below the 11:28 mark here in the fourth quarter, tied at 29. Welcome those of you in from other football games from around the area here on WMIX FM and WMIX AM and WMIXsports.com. Quarterback Reeves is under center. The handoff is going to be C.J. Lloyd off tackle up the right. Roll just inside the near hash, past the 30, down to about, we're going to say, the spot of the football is going to be close to a first down. They ought to give it to him. It's a gain of 5. It's going to be close. Will they bring the chains out here?
Ground. Bring the chain, stop the clock.
Will not get a measurement.
Brings up 3rd down and
Okay.
Well, there you go. Chain gang helping out all it can with the down marker.
Oh, Carbondale wins.
So now an official's timeout for the moment.
Timeout for measurement.
If you have to get down practically on one knee to look over to see if it's close, just bring the chains out. Who cares which side it is? Just bring the chains out.
There's only one side for chains.
Well, I know, but I mean,
Okay.
when you're down on one knee looking to the side the chains are on, I mean, which side you're on, I mean, as far as favoring a team. That's what I meant by side.
Oh.
In case of person pronoun. You're down on your knee, you're delaying the game. Just bring the chains out. 10:39 to go in the fourth quarter. 29-29. There you go. My apologies, but that's ridiculous.
Let it out.
I did. I feel better.
Well, some different finals. Carbondale has beat Harrisburg 42-14. Bulldog, or I should say Terriers, one of those dogs, will get into the playoffs as they have 5 wins and should have enough points. CZR has lost to Carmi 56-30, and that plays short. And Pinckneyville beats Dupo 21-16.
So it's shy of a first down, but now you know. It'll be 3rd and short for the Rams. Ball on the 27-yard line in Mount Carmel territory. 10:39 on the game clock here in the fourth quarter. Tied at 29. Mount Vernon, Mount Carmel. A great battle ensuing here on senior night at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Rams finished in 2nd in the South 7. Mount Carmel, Big 8 Conference champions and undefeated thus far at 8-0. 569 is the enrollment of Mount Carmel. Reeves, the quarterback, under center. He's going to take it himself. Looked like he may have gotten just enough. Leaned forward and got it. Should be 1st and 10 for the Rams on a gain of 1.
First down. Clock runs. March the ball down the field. Keep her going. Keep things rolling.
So there you go. First down for the Rams here in the fourth quarter, trying to keep the clock moving. The WMIX Sports Mobile Studios is driven by King City Chrysler Center, home of the Express Lane, fast oil changes, and more. Service without an appointment. Just stop on in at 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon. No waiting, just fast service. Split to the right side, Marshall on the left. Doug Gardner, Reeves the quarterback under center. Going to roll to the right side, giving chase. Going to have to get rid of it quickly, looking for Jacoby Marshall, and that one is going to be picked off at about the 11-yard line. Picked off by the Aces, and coming up with the interception is Thomas Allen, the 6'1 senior. And this football's going the other way.
That's not what Mount Vernon needed. Now Mount Carmel has it their own 5. Playoff position, I should say field position, and important here, and playoff position as well with Mount Carmel back with the football.
Aces will have the football with 10:06 left to go in the fourth quarter. Tie ball game at 29. It'll be 1st and 10 at about the 5-yard line. As the pass looked like it was going to hit at about the 11. Ends up in the hands of Thomas Allen, and he stumbles backward. It was like a bad long jump where the hands went backward.
Yep. Ball floated on Reeves a little bit. That's the way it goes.
Out of the pistol formation, and this one was almost lost. And the Rams are going to get a quick tackle here on the handoff to Levi Laws. May have gotten back just past the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down now for the Golden Aces with 9:55 to play in a tied fourth quarter. Unreal. We'll have plenty of Tony Wells scoreboard updates coming your way as many finals are starting to roll in from around the area tonight. 2 each side for the Aces. Quarterback Metcalf on the high snap is going to try to force it to the outside, and it's going to be I thought it was a shovel pass, but it's going to be a pitch, so therefore off the fumble. He picked it up and got a few yards out of it to about the 10. So it'll be about the 8-yard line. It'll be a gain of a couple. 3rd and 7 for the Aces with 9:22 to play. Looking at the pistol with Levi Laws at the back. Daxton Peach comes into the left slot. Well, along with Klein, it's Allen and Thompson on the right side for Mount Carmel. Reese Metcalf, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. Nay, the pistol. Nope, Laws is going to come up. Nope, he'll stay in the pistol. Makes up his mind. Play clock at 5. The Aces ready to roll. Looking at the quick connect on the left side, and that's going to be in and out. That is incomplete from Austin Thompson. Good coverage that time from Doug Gardner. No, DeMontez Miller-Gray, my apologies. Gets a glad hand from Xavier Tice. It's 4th and 7 from the 8. Big break.
Question is, do you make an attempt to go for a block punt here, or do you take the chance and get a return? That's the question. I think if you're Mount Vernon, set up a return. Maybe Mount Carmel will mess something up just with a little bit of pressure up front and not much.
We'll see what they do. Deep into the end zone, waiting for the snap on the punt attempt, is Reese Metcalf, the right-footed, left-handed quarterback.
Let's get out of the way, boys.
That'll bounce out of bounds. It took a bounce. It didn't go that far, dude.
Oh, no.
It went out of bounds. It's about the 41. They're going to say it was at about the 47.
Wow.
Well, there you go. It's
You're
okay.
standing right there. I don't know why you couldn't see it.
It happens.
You hear Mount Vernon. The defense makes a stop, and now it's money time. You get to see, I know you talk about moments that change programs, you get to see what Mount Vernon can do right now. If they can come in here, take it down the field and score, this is another one of those moments where you look back and you go, this program made a turn around the corner right here.
Amen to that. Great job by the defense. If you're looking for an award to recognize an individual team, other accomplishment, or perhaps the Ram defense tonight, check out Winning Edge's fashionable line of plaques, trophies, medallions, glass, and acrylics. Visit winningedgeusa.com. Handoff's going to be an inside handoff to C.J. Lloyd, getting to about the 45 for a gain of 2 on the near hash. That'll bring it to the 45-yard line, 2nd and 8, with 8:40 to play in the fourth quarter. We're tied at 29.
Welcome in our speech friends and those coming back from Carlisle, trying to warm up after they got done with Benton losing 31-0, listening on their way back from Clinton County.
Culture?
Appreciate those. Culture listening in, yes.
Amen to that.
That culture, that teacher of culture could explain a lot to us. Check.
Ooh, 2nd and 8. Ball on the 45. Lloyd in motion. Inside handoff's going to go to Graham Hinken, who has gotten some yardage over the course of the season. 3rd leading rusher for the Rams.
Yeah.
And he'll get about 3 or 4 on the play.
That's 2 down territory. Nickel. You got to keep going here in this warm press box. We're ready to go. Checking things out. Scores coming in little by little as we move on.
It's nice to be able to buy a water 2 hours before the game and it still be cold, however.
Check. Those who are listening that were here today will understand that. Check. I'll quit that now. Moving on.
3rd and 5 for the Rams. Split left Marshall. Or making that right Marshall, left Gardner. My apologies. It's going to be Reeves running for his life to the left side. He's going to have to give chase, and this could be a broken play, and it is. It's going to be a long tackle for a loss as Reeves is flushed out of the packet, and that'll make it 4th and about 9.
Well, that play did nothing. Reeves got out there. The blockers are down, and here comes a bunch of white-shirted Golden Aces chasing with their golden helmets, and unfortunately, there was nothing he could do. He couldn't outrun the posse, and that's a loss of 5.
So that'll make it 4th and 8, but at least the clock continues to run. 7:10 to play in the fourth quarter, tied at 29. Mount Vernon Rams, Mount Carmel Golden Aces. Back to return, it is Flickinger.
Field position, get a good punt. Hit
there
it hard.
Go. Maybe going coffin corner here as this will take a nice bounce.
But don't touch it. Oh, touch it.
It'll take a bounce to about the 5-yard line inside the 5, down by Jacoby Marshall. So the Ram quarterback comes up big on the punt. 6:54 to play in the fourth. 29-29. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Aces. Again inside their own 5.
Well, the long Black Diamond winning streak of the Chester Jackets about go by the wayside as they have it on their own 26 with 14 seconds to go, but they don't have any timeouts.
Might be able to buy a diamond with a free high-yield interest checking from Community First Bank of the Heartland. Home of the one account. Just ask for one. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. They, of course, not responsible for my claims of possible purchase of said diamond. 6:54 to play in the fourth quarter. Tied at 29. Reese Metcalf out of the own end zone is going to complete a cast at about the 10. That looked like it was number 35, Tom Allen. Comes up with a big play there.
Not much.
So Tyus is safe. He comes over the top to get the tackle. It'll cut it in half at 2nd and 5. Clock continues to run. 6:35 to play here in the fourth quarter. Tie ball game. Pistol offense now for the Aces. 3 left, 1 right. Metcalf looking to roll the pass, and that one is going to be broken up. Juggling it was Levi Laws, and Jacob Williamson, the team's leading tackler, comes in and breaks up the play. It'll be 3rd and 5 with 6:27 left to go. Again, tied at 29.
Decisions here for Mount Vernon. Do you lay back, play safe, or do you put some pressure on Metcalf here and see what he can do?
Can this Ram defense come up big again? Rams fans on their feet on 3rd and 4. Tied at 29. 6:27 to go.
A lot of noise here at the stadium tonight.
Just the way they want it. 3 left, 1 right. Looks like Thompson all alone on the right side for Reese Metcalf out of the pistol. Looking for a quick pass. It's going to be in and out of the hands of Jacob. Make that Caleb Klein, the 6-foot senior.
Well,
4th and 4.
The play was there, Chris. It hit him right in the numbers. And as I've said before, that is how wide receivers become defensive backs. Chester loses 36-32 to Fairfield as the Mules break that long jacket streak in the Black Diamond.
Tied at 29, 4th and 4. Back in the end zone, the punt is Reese Metcalf. Back to return, Doug Gardner between the hashes. Near midfield, and this is going to take a Mount Carmel bounce past midfield, past the far hash to about the 47. But if you're the Rams, you'll take that.
Oh, definitely. And now you start, and it's a drive to win. 6:13 to go. It's a drive to try to win the ball game. Again, had that while ago. Now you're going to have it again at your own 48. Here on this warm football weather night.
29-29. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams from their own 47-yard line. Ball to be placed on the far hash. Let's see what Dylan Reeves, the junior quarterback, and much of this junior-led and sophomore-led offense can do. Of course, a very experienced line consisting of junior, senior, senior, junior, senior.
Well, they need to make some hay here.
Of course, as far as your backs are concerned, Reeves, the quarterback, is a junior. Miller Gray is a junior. Lloyd, of course, is senior. Hinken is a junior. Your wideouts, both seniors, however, honored here on senior night. 6:13 remains in the fourth quarter. We're tied at 29. Blessed to have you with us on WMIX FM, WMIX AM, WMIXsports.com. Just remember the call letters. Google it, whatever you have to do. Find us on the internet, WMIXsports.com. Split to the left. Gardner. Split to the right. Jacoby Marshall. Same wingback set here for the Rams. It is going to be Reeves trying to turn around and take it himself, and he'll be sacked by Gabe Margolin.
That didn't work.
Hey,
nothing. I think Mount Carmel, what they did a run blitz that time, clogged up the gaps A and B, and there was no way Reeves was going to take care of that football up the middle.
Not at all. We'll have a lot of finals coming your way, especially in our Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show coming up after the game. The official voice of Rams Athletics on WMIX, Community First Bank of the Heartland. If you're tired of big corporate banking, you do have a choice in Jefferson County. Community First Bank makes it home in Mountford and Dix, Woodlawn and Ida. That's 5 locations. That means there's 2 in one town. That'd be right here in the King City. 2nd and 10 for the Rams. Ooh, nice. It's going to be a quick pitch to the near side. It's going to be to Montez Miller Gray. There's a flag in the backfield as he gets past midfield to about the 49. I have a hunch this one's coming back.
There is a penalty flag in the backfield.
Holding on the Rams. Their 4th penalty of the night, 1st of the quarter. As it moves on.
Are you watching us online at WMIXsports.com? Well, then you'll see the Rend Lake College graphic above the window. Rend Lake College can save you thousands on your college education. See how and apply online at rlc.edu.
I have so many finals. I'm running out of paper to write them on.
After the penalty,
are you? Need more paper?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm good. I got places to put scores that nobody else has.
That's scary.
I know. That didn't come out right, but it's
no, it did not. But we love it anyway.
That's right.
2nd and 21 for the Rams. Lloyd in motion. Trying to go to Robert Greider, who's trying to go off tackle left, but his own men got in his way, unfortunately. And I think in trying to catch the Aces off guard, kind of flop that hand. It'll be 3rd and long with 5:07 to play in the 4th.
For WMIX sports correspondent, Mr. Rushing listening in on his way back from Chester.
Good.
So the big signal's going over there as DuQuoin lost tonight 21-0, and Heron beat AJ 42-14, and more finals will be coming as we go.
Dylan Reeves, the quarterback, comes to Jared Shaner. for the play. 3rd and 22 for the Rams. The ball is between the hashes at the 35 in Ram territory. 29-29. We're tied. 4:40 to play in the fourth. Crunch time for the orange and black. 3rd and 22. Split left and right. Double wing back set. Looking for the fade route. Coming to the near side. Marshall past midfield. Comes up with it. Comes up with it if he's inbounds at the 31. What did he just do? Jacoby Marshall for the gain. I don't even want to add that up.
A goal route of 25 yards, a pass, and a first down. All it was, he threw it out there, and Marshall ran down the sideline. The defensive back turned over his left shoulder to look on the right side of the field. The ball went by his ear on the right side. Marshall with a catch. First down Rams on a break for Mount Vernon by the defense.
I can't add time. I can't add football yardage. Thank you very much for that. 1st and 10 on the Mount Carmel 30. The ball is on the near hash. Good times.
I had to take care of it.
That's what you do. That's why you're here. The ball is going to be an inside handoff to C.J. Lloyd. The thing is, the clock runs. They got a gain. That's really all that matters at this point, even though it's tied.
I mean, you're getting down under crunch time with 4:20 to go in this one. You're tied at 29. Mount Vernon has the football. You got plenty of time. The thing is, though, you only have one timeout.
4:07 to play in the fourth quarter. Tied at 29. It'll be 2nd and 7 on the 3-yard gain by the senior running back. Mount Carmel 27, near hash. I bet it was.
I bet that was.
That's the place to feast.
Well, it is. You'll get the bill later on in the week, I'm sure.
Hopefully it can be paid in Saluki tickets or something. We'll figure it out. St. Charles Chill, maybe.
Quarterback
Reeves under center. It's going to be an inside handoff. CJ tripped up by his own man. And that was a good block off of the line, but couldn't find that seam up the left side. Nothing in the gut. It's going to be 3rd down for the Rams with 3:35 to play. We're tied at 29. If you're just joining us, the Rams trailed 15-0 in the first half. Came back to take a 22-21 halftime lead. Had a 9-minute drive to open up the half to take a 29-21 lead. Then Mount Carmel takes a 1-minute drive. 55 yards, I believe, or 65 yards from Laws for the score. And we've been tied ever since. 3:10 to play in the fourth quarter. Play clock at 8. 3rd and 7 for the Rams. It's going to be Hinken right up the middle. Found a seam inside the near hash. I don't think he quite got 7, but he keeps the clock rolling.
Fullback dive, got 5. Going to be 4th and 2.
4th and a deuce.
Maybe you can make somebody jump off sides again. If not, maybe run something here. Ball middle of the field. You got a lot more plays here. We'll see what Coach Shaner sends Dylan Reeves out with it as Marion wins tonight 62-12. They come up with a win.
Tony Wilt is your State Farm agent at Mount Vernon. Find him online at TonyWilt.com. Get in his office, corner 34th. Make that 42nd in South Watertown, Mount Vernon. Sorry, Tony. I'll look for that white State Farm Jeep around town to make up for it. The Rams got the guy offside, but no call. And now let's see what happens. Will it be a timeout?
People are yelling for that, but I don't think he budged very much.
Nah.
Not enough.
I don't think so either. So the Rams burn a timeout here. 2:26 to play in the fourth quarter. No more timeouts remaining for the Rams. It'll be 4th and 2 when we come out of the timeout. Presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy in Mount Vernon. 2339 Broadway. That's where Dr. Eric Black and staff will be, supporting the local community, as well as the Rams and Lady Rams.
Final, Mascoutah beats Centralia 44-7.
Wow.
Has Centralia now out of the playoffs. Injuries derailed the Orphans.
Now that Matisse Scott injury, I mean, you hate to put it all on one man, but I mean, that not only changed the game plan for the Orphans that we saw last week off an empty backfield, but just kind of, Twitter jail?
Nope.
Good. We're on Twitter. Give us a follow. Be worth your while, I promise. 2:26 remains in the fourth quarter. So glad to have you on AM 940, 94.1 FM. That's WMIX. WMIX FM, Mount Vernon, Marion, Effingham. Another Withers, actually 2 Withers broadcasting superstations. Plural now.
There's 1, yeah.
Funny how that works. 4th and 2 for the Rams. It's on the Mount Carmel 22. Ball is practically between the hashes. Quarterback Reeves is under center. Power eye. This is going to be C.J. Lloyd diving ahead past the 20-yard line. That would be a Mount Vernon first down.
Gutsy. He knew exactly where the chain was. He knew exactly where the yard marker was and got there. What a run that time by Mr. Lloyd.
29-29 if you're just joining us. 1st and 10 for Mount Vernon. Ball on the Mount Carmel 19. It'll be spotted on the near hash. Clock will start at 2:20. It'll roll now for the Rams. Tyler Bradley, the center to the first of the line. The rest will join. Looks like Marshall and Gardner are going to be tight. Power eye for the Rams. Traditionally a double wingback team. It'll be the quarterback Reeves under center. Your backs are Hinken, Miller Gray, and the senior C.J. Lloyd. The junior quarterback is under center. Trying to come, sweep near side. It's going to be C.J. Lloyd. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. Trying to come back. That time it did kind of look like a horse collar for 3.
That was there.
C.J. Lloyd.
15-yard run around the right side. Had a caravan. And the Rams marching down the field looking to take the lead here.
1:56 to play in the fourth quarter. We're tied at 29. It's first down regardless. All we've done is take it half the distance from about the 2. So there you go. We'll see if the Rams are able to accomplish here. First and goal from about the 3, pardon me. Tied at 29, a minute 56 to go.
Yep.
Power eye for the Rams. Lloyd, Miller Gray, Hinken, Reeves are your backs.
Would Mount Carmel let Mount Vernon score to have more time on the clock?
You wonder. Go Super Bowl-like as C.J. Lloyd trying to get in. Rams are signaling touchdown. Doesn't matter what they say. We need the stripes to give their ruling.
Right. Mount Carmel's got to call a timeout. They do. I was going to say, they can't sit there and let this time go. And I just thought maybe at this case, if you would let Mount Vernon in, if you'd let him in there, you have 1:47 left and 2 timeouts. Now you're down to 1:47 or less, obviously less, 1 timeout when if Mount Vernon scores.
We'll have plenty of score updates, or a final scoreboard update coming your way in the Spitz Chevrolet post-game show. A minute 47 left in a tied fourth quarter ball game. 29-29, the Mount Carmel Golden Aces and the Mount Vernon Rams. You're on the Rams Radio Network here. Glad to have you with us. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Jeff Crow gives you video angles at WMIXsports.com. Holly Carroll, womaning things. I traditionally would say manning things, but womaning things back at the Mount Vernon studio tonight. This time out on the field is presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy at 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Don't forget about TMS Mobility and Rehab. That's right. For all your standard and custom mobility and rehab needs.
Well, modern days in. Cesar Valera was down like 110-2. Now they're back within 34-30.
Well, there you go.
Late.
Fighting back.
5 minutes to go on the road in Jackson County at Alvarado Trico.
Phoning home at ET.
Well, that's what was tweeted earlier on our Twitter at WMIX Sports from our friend from the B&D.
Bend.
The bend. Well, here comes a bend right here.
We'll see. We'll see if it's going to be bend and not break for the Aces. Should be second and goal for the Rams. Ball on the 1-yard line. Marshall split out right. Remains to be seen where we're going to see Gardner. He's going to be tight. 2 wingbacks on the right. Lloyd, the deep man. The tailback in this set. It's going to be pitched coming to the right side. Can they use Lloyd's speed? Can he cut in? Bulldozes in for a touchdown. And that'll put the Rams on top 35-29 with a minute 44 to play in the fourth quarter. And the Aces look shocked from this distance. What a game it has been.
Wow.
One good play from C.J. Lloyd. Make your own great play when you open a Community First Bank free high-yield checking account that earns cash back. Just ask for one. Member FDIC.
First touchdown for the Rams in a while with 1:44 to go. The Rams that time, 5 minutes plus, get about a 10, 11 play drive.
CJ's racking up the fantasy points. He's on for the PAT. Millwood to hold. Sophomore quarterback Reed Millwood, also going to be a middle infielder probably this year in Rams baseball. As the kick is going to be wide left.
Ruh-roh.
Yikes.
And that'll give a cheer on the other side because they now know, they as in Mount Carmel know, they're only down 6, 35-29.
Of course, we saw Mount Carmel roll quite a bit away in about a minute earlier. Last time the Rams scored. We'll see if the Rams can contain defensively. And I think if they do, they're the front runner for your player of the game.
Celebrating's one thing. Now you have to get over it, and you have to go on down the field, and you got to play some defense. You've made some big stops in this one. You have got to play some defense and pull out a win here. See what you do.
35-29. Mount Vernon on top. C.J. Lloyd got the touchdown run on a sweep from 1 yard out on a pitch, I should say. And what a play by the Mount Vernon senior on senior night.
Well, 1:44 left.
A minute 44 remains. Levi Laws and Riley Raver back to return for the Aces. They're going to stand at about the 20. Balls haven't really gotten deep thus far. We'll see what Reeves is able to do with the leg. A minute 44 to play in the fourth quarter. Mount Vernon 35, Mount Carmel 29. Rams looking to overtake the Aces. Here comes the kick from Dylan Reeves. End over end, it'll be Laws to pick it up at about the 15. He's at the 20, looking to go far hash. Trying to break forward on his feet.
Gone.
It's going to be up to Reeves to beat him. At the 40, 35. Dillon trying to take him out at the 20 on the far sideline, and that's going to be a big return of, wow, that's going to be quite a bit of a return. It was at the 15, and it's going to be about 75 yards or so.
I'm telling you.
With 1:33 to play. Levi Laws just put the game on his back.
He got a good wedge set up. They set the wedge and pinned Mount Vernon in on the Mount Vernon side of the field. He went up the right side, the Aces bench, and he took off up that right sideline, and Dylan Reeves, the only one back there for him. And, boy, you had the momentum. You let him back in with a special teams play.
I think momentum kind of swung back, though, on the PAT miss. You felt things kind of shift there on that sideline on their reaction. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Aces. Ball is on the Mount Vernon 17 on the far hash with 1:33 left. It's 35-29. Aces will load up on the left side with 3. Peach is in the left slot. 1 on the right. It's going to be Reese Metcalf flipping out to Levi Laws, and he's going to be tripped up.
Not bad.
On a good hit, but down on the ground after the hit is the Ram defender. That's going to be to about the 14.
Remember that Mount Carmel has a timeout left in this one if they want to use it.
With 1:24 left, it'll be 2nd down for the Aces. 2nd and about 7 on the gain of 3. 1:24 to go.
As they tend to a Mount Vernon Ram on the field. Interesting one. Triad leads Althoff 35-34 with 5 to go in the ball game. That one's interesting. Althoff's got to win to get in. They got 5 wins. Althoff needs a win. Harrisburg's out. They lost. Centralia out. They lost. Benton out. They lost. Pinckneyville won. They are 5-4. Murphy won. They're 5-4. But those two teams need a lot of playoff points to go their way tonight.
With 1:24 left to go, an injury timeout on the field, and I thought it was Orlando Watson. I'm not. No, he's up. My apologies. Is it Doug? Tyus? Just going by the bottom of the number.
And we wait as things go on. Other finals, we say Benton lost 31-zip. Heron over AJ 42-14. Murphy over DuQuoin 21-0. Columbia beat Nashville 42-14. We know Carterville was up 50-0 at half. We don't have an official final. And Pinckneyville beat DuPo 21-16. Nor do we have a Sparta Redbud as of yet, but that'll change.
Tyus will limp off of the field, but he's up, and that's what matters. Had a good hit. Had a nice tackle on Levi Laws. 2nd and 7 for the Aces with 1:24 to go in the 4th quarter. 35-29 Rams on top. A missed PAT. We'll see if it comes back to haunt. Split left. It'll be Caleb Klein. Reese Metcalf comes back in. His back will be Levi Laws. They're going to put Riley Rayburn in the right slot, as well as 2 additional on the right. I believe Thompson and Allen. Out of the pistol for the left-handed quarterback, Metcalf, with 1:22 to go in the 4th. Ball near hash from the Mount Vernon 14. Here comes a snap, and it's going to be a faked handoff. A fumble on the play, picked up by the Rams. Oh, my gosh, at the 22. And another key fumble late may get the Rams another victory.
Mount Carmel has a timeout. One left, and you could see when Metcalf rolled out, he had a guy on him. He had to shake the ball out, and the Ram tackler did a good job of knocking the football out, and the Rams have it deep in their own end with 1:12 to go. Mount Carmel with 1 timeout left.
Brian Bowers is the one who recovered the fumble.
Wow. And Mount Vernon right now could knock Mount Carmel from the ranks of the unbeaten here tonight.
1st and 10 with 1:12 remaining.
Mount Vernon will run a play. Mount Carmel will call a timeout. It'll be a kneel-down play.
Reeves, the quarterback, will be at her center. It's going to be a handoff to C.J. Lloyd. You got to hang on to the football. It's going to be a no gain.
Yep, got to be careful here.
Clock will roll. Mount Carmel will call the timeout with 1:07. This timeout is presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the Mount Vernon Rams and local community. What a week to return to 50,000 watts at WMIX FM.
Yeah, Mount Carmel does have another. Pinckneyville only has 3 points they got tonight. They will only have 35. Alvarado, no, that's not right.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
That score's not right. Can't go with that one.
Can't trust everything you see.
No, you got to be careful. Got to use the...
First is always best.
No.
First and right is even best.
Because I've got a different score down here by my little fingers.
I trust yours.
Well, I have people. Those listening, I got to say this. To everybody I have texted for all 9 weeks, and then next week, however long this goes. Thank you very much for texting me, for those who tweet and retweet us, different things. So we say hi to the sideline warning guy listening in. Very important, very thank you.
It's come a long way
for listening to the tweets and texts and everything else.
Come a long way since my 15 radios and manning 2 cell phones. It's amazing what technology's done for us. Thank you to everybody. As Lloyd's going to get the carry on the near side. Trying to stay in bounds. Mount Carmel trying to drag him out. Mount Carmel will not going to use their last time out. Will use their last time out now.
Yep.
With 58.5 seconds, it'll be third down when they come out of it. This timeout is presented by the Medicine Shop Pharmacy on 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Dr. Eric Black and staff proud to support the Mount Vernon Rams and the local community. You know who else is proud to support the Rams? That's our official voice of the Rams on the radio. Community First Bank of the Heartland.
Well, if you don't get a first down here, you run the ball, you're going to have to punt it with probably 25 seconds or so, maybe 20, depending on the spot and everything else. So by the time you punt it, it's going to leave Mount Carmel very little time, but you got to make sure that you have your wall of special teams up if you don't get a first down here. If you do get a first down, you celebrate. There's not a thing Mount Carmel can do.
35-29. Rams on top with 58.5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It's 3rd and 10. Ball on the Mount Vernon 23-yard line. It's actually about 3rd and 9. We'll see what the Rams were able to do here. 58.5 ticks left on the 23-yard line. 35-29 the score. Let's see if the Rams can maybe get a first down and be able to kneel down the rest of the way in victory formation. Otherwise, going to have to punt. We saw what happened on the last return. Can't afford that again. Reeves, the quarterback, is under center. It's going to be a pitch coming to the near side. What else to C.J. Lloyd? Can he stay in? Does he get first down yardage? He's pushed out of bounds.
Why did he not get out of bounds? You take the slide, you stop the clock, you gave Mount Carmel an extra timeout. Now it's 4th down. The clock stopped at 51 seconds. That's a major mistake of ball management, clock management. You got to understand the situation and get out of bounds. Unfortunately, it didn't happen there. And now time saved for the Aces, 51.9 seconds left.
So this will be a punt attempt, and who else but Levi Laws? Do you even give him a chance?
Well, you got to punt. You got to get it to the sideline, but you don't want to give him a chance to run that baby back. That's for sure. A good punt will take some time off, but you got to make sure to get him down.
Laws near hash about the 40. Here comes the punt. It's going to be a high punt.
Bounce and go that way. That's all right. Oh, don't touch it yet. Oh.
That could go either way. Jacoby Marshall down at about the 43-yard line, and with 43 seconds to go. Do the Rams have another defensive stop left in them? It's all powered by Community First Bank. Always bank in your hometown team. Community First Bank, home of the one account, featuring free checking and high-yield interest. Member FDIC. 43.3 seconds, and if you run up the middle, it's down to about 25 or so, but run to the outside, stop the clock, and the Ram punt at least took some time off the clock.
Mount Carmel, with no timeouts, is going to have to run a lot of plays to the sideline. If you catch him in, you got to bring him down in bounds, so that way that clock runs no matter what, unless they get a first down.
Empty backfield out of the shotgun for the quarterback, Reese Metcalf, and this one's going to be picked up. Out of bounds will go Thomas Allen at midfield, shy of first down yardage. It'll be a 7-yard gain, 2nd and 3 with 36.9 seconds left to go in the fourth. 35-29 Rams on top, and we'll see how far the Aces can go. Can they get the game-breaking touchdown that they need?
Mount Vernon fans still here, a lot in their cars listening. Dink and dunks like that won't be bad.
2nd and 3, empty backfield for the Aces. Riley Rayburn in the left slot along with Caleb Klein, split left. Looking for the quick pass, and there it is. This one, can they get him in bounds?
Yep.
Rams are having trouble getting the tackle, as that one, I believe, complete to Laws on the far side. It's first down yardage as the clock will pause momentarily, but he remained in bounds.
How about Alvarado Trico? They beat SVWW tonight, 40-30.
Nice. And so now this one will be spiked by the quarterback, Reese Metcalf, on 1st and 10 to bring up 2nd and 10 with 25.8 seconds left. 35-29 is the score. Ball is on the Mount Vernon 45-yard line. Good job, good heads-up play by Reese Metcalf. Riley Rayburn will be in the left slot. On the right side, nope, they're going to bring Laws to the left slot. Rayburn will go to the right slot. Allen and Thompson, the wide receivers, to the right for Reese Metcalf. Caleb Klein is split left for Reese Metcalf. Empty backfield. Shotgun set. The Aces with 25 seconds left. Looking downfield is Metcalf. trying to get rid of it. He's being flushed out by Greider. He'll dump off a pass. That'll be complete. Out of bounds will go Austin Thompson with 17.9.
That's pretty heads-up play, and even stayed behind the line of scrimmage so he wouldn't get caught for throwing past the line of scrimmage. Made a little run, little throw, 5 yards. Receiver Smart got out of bounds. First down. Mount Carmel with 17.9 left.
Just shy of the first down. It'll be third down for the Aces. 17.9 seconds left. Wow, 35-29. Rams on top. All presented by Community First Bank. To the left, it's Laws and Klein. Same setup here. Empty backfield shotgun for the left-handed QB. He's looking for a fade route, and this one's going to be batted away. It'll be 4th and 1 on a play batted away for the quarterback to Montez Miller-Gray, it looked like.
How about that?
The hyphen comes up with a big defensive play.
Got back into play. That was speed and an arm. He was beaten on the play down the sideline, thrown to the end zone. Got back in with his wheels and a reach of the arm, knocked it down in 4th and 1. What does Mount Carmel do here? You're running out of time with a lot of real estate left to go.
Oh, my gosh, 4th and 1 for the Aces. Ball game right here possibly. 13.7 seconds, 35-29, the Rams lead. Laws is going to come to the left slot along with Klein. Same formation, empty backfield set, out of the shotgun, Reese Metcalf and the Aces. Looking to roll on 4th down. Fade route again, and that one's going to be the ball game. Incomplete at about the 5. Yep. Trying to lead Austin Thompson down the sideline. Al falling complete. Turnover on downs with 9.2 seconds left. And the Mount Vernon Rams just beat the Mount Carmel Golden Aces.
You betcha. 6-3 on the year. Confidence and momentum heading into the playoffs next week, and who cares wherever that may be.
Nobody's happier than the man on crutches on the sideline and the footcast, Drew Hester.
I mean,
you can tell him apart from everybody else, even without the crutches. Big Charlie sophomore.
How sweet it is for the Mount Vernon Rams.
35-29, victory formation. And the Rams upset the AP state-ranked Golden Aces here on senior night. 35-29 is your final. The Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show is next. This is Rams football, powered by Community First Bank.
Around the stage. Bowers will look at your next round weather. Clearing and cold tonight with a freeze. Low temperature near the record at 25. Last reached in 1999. Tomorrow bright and sunny, but still cool. High 52. Clear and cold tomorrow night, low 31 to 35. Saturday, sunny to partly cloudy. A warmer afternoon with a high 65. And then on Sunday, partly sunny. High 54 to 58. Next round weather from WMIX, Mount Vernon, Illinois.
I couldn't resist. Last month, Ram Truck Month was so successful, I have decided to extend the only true truck month. Hi, Roy Schmidt, Ram dealer at King City Chrysler, Mount Vernon. You remember me telling you that the deals couldn't get any better, and it can't. That's why I'm glad to extend the opportunity for 0% financing for 72 months, plus $2,000 cash back on new 2013 Ram Quad Cabs and Crew Cabs, with the Bighorn, Express, or Outdoorsman packages. 2014s are arriving daily, and we are ready to deal to help close out the 2013 model year. Take advantage of these amazing incentives. Come see one of our sales associates at King City Chrysler Center at 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, or shop us online at kingcitychrysler.com. Find us on Facebook. And don't forget our new Express Lane, fast oil changes and more, for service without an appointment.
Did your bank recently stop offering free checking? People's National Bank still has free checking with the added convenience of a Visa check card, online banking, bill pay, money pass, and mobile banking. Stop by People's National Bank located at 522 Main Street in Mount Vernon, Illinois today for details on how to get your free checking account. People's National Bank, serving Southern Illinois since 1909, member FDIC. Non-usage fees may apply.
Too expensive to get back into shape? Not anymore. Ren Lake College's new fitness center is only $53 per semester. They've also thought of everything with universal machines, free weights, treadmills with dedicated TV screens, ellipticals, and more. Qualified dance instructors are also available. Or go at your own pace with DVDs that can be used in the exercise room. Best of all, it's open 7 days a week. Check out the Ren Lake College Fitness Center in the Marketplace off Potomac Boulevard in Mount Vernon. Or log on to renlakecollege.edu/ Fish Center.
Learn to live healthy, learn to live well, and learn how you can live free from unexpected medical expense with a major medical expense policy from Pekin Insurance and the Page Agency. Health insurance that covers hospital, medical, and surgical expenses offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount, too. Rising medical costs don't have to be a problem with a major medical expense policy from Pekin Insurance. This is coverage we hope you'll never need, but you just can't be without. Call the Page Agency at 242-7000 about a major medical health insurance plan today.
This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports. The Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show starts now.
35-29 your final. WMIX, WMIX-FM, WMIXsports.com for your Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon. Find their inventory online at schmidtchevrolet.com. You'll find a large crowd of Rams and Rams supporters gathered at about from the south end zone to about the 20-yard line. Of course, as Jared Shaner gives his post-game speech and post-game pep talk, the Rams finished the regular season at 6-3. Forget the playoff points that they had. The playoff points they didn't need. The Rams are in the playoffs with their 6th win. Danny Czerwinski alongside. I'm Chris Hugo. Jeff Crow with us with the video at WMIXsports.com. Holly Carroll is back at our Mount Vernon studio, and you kind of take a gander how this one went. The Rams trailed 15-0, of course, early on. Come back to take a 22-21 lead at the half. End up winning 35-29. Big game for the Rams.
Yeah, it's big momentum. I mean, you got a shell-shocked Mount Carmel team that is walking off the field. I don't think they know what's hit them. I think they thought they were coming here to get a big win here in the King City tonight, and they finish 8-1, and they're heading to 3A, and that is a bracket that, let's just say that you don't want to be in right now when some of these scores start coming through. It's an amazing, amazing bracket as we go here, and tough game. And Mount Carmel goes 8-1, but on the other side of the coin, you look at a big crowd of black and orange fans dressed in that color, those colors I should say, on the south end here of the end of the field, and a happy group as Mount Vernon breaks a 6-game losing streak to Mount Carmel by winning here 35-29. Mount Vernon's going to be 6-3. You feel a little bit better, probably not a home game, but golly, doesn't it feel good if you're a Mount Vernon Rams fan tonight to get this win and get to the playoffs with a 6-3 record.
Feels excellent. This is your Schmidt Chevrolet post-game show. Rams football, of course, is presented by Community First Bank of the Heartland. Cheerleaders are stoked at about midfield.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody hanging around here as the Rams finish the regular season with a big upset win over the Mount Carmel Golden Aces, 35-29. We have a lot coming up here. We have your scoring and stats coming up after a break. We'll have a player of the game. Most importantly, we'll get you a final of finals. We're going to show what we're made of with our Tony Wilt scoreboard update. That's all coming up after a break here on your Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Friday Night Lights are back. The best in high school football content is right here at WMIX Sports. Don't miss area coaches and our panel of experts as the Saturday Sports Show revisits the region's most important games. We'll also recap the WMIXsports.com scoreboard, plus talk up other local sports. Look for the Saturday Sports Show after the 8 a.m. news on WMIX 940 and WMIXsports.com, powered by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be.
Attention all Medicare Part B pharmacy patients. The annual enrollment period begins October 15th and ends December 7th. And the Medicine Shop Pharmacy is ready to help you. Stop by or call to make an appointment with Eric Black or Tracy Adams. They'll review your current prescription plan and help you manage your Medicare dollars. Here's pharmacist and pharmacy owner Eric Black.
What we offer to our patients is to sit down with them and answer questions that they may have about their medications, really with the end goal of being to maximize their dollars, because that's, after all, what patients really want. We'll take appointments, sit down with them, take as long as it takes to help them choose a plan that is effective at meeting their needs.
Remember, the good folks at the Medicine Shop Pharmacy are never too busy to take care of you. They look forward to understanding your health care needs and will focus on keeping you well. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, 2339 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
To call to make an appointment, call 618-242-8776.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Now is a great time to move your account to Community First Bank. With our new One account offering the highest interest rate in the market, free checking, and CD specials delivered by people you know and trust, why would you not bank with the market leader in Jefferson County? We offer 5 locations and 7 ATMs and have been serving the Jefferson County market since 1906. Stop in and see why our bank is the fastest growing bank in Jefferson County. Community First Bank. Welcome back to personal banking. Member FDIC.
Streaming worldwide at WMIXsports.com. This is Mount Vernon Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Back at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium on your Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. Rams football, as always, is powered by Community First Bank of the Heartland, 35-29. Rams close out the regular season in exciting fashion with a big win over the previously undefeated Mount Carmel Golden Aces. Unbelievable. We're still working on that final Tony Wilt scoreboard update. We'll get that to you in just a moment. We do have scoring and stats ready for you.
I got that for you. The first downs were tied at 15. Then the turnovers were also tied at 4. I'm multitasking here for some friends. The penalties, Mount Vernon only with 4 for 30 yards. And then Mount Carmel had 10 for 50 yards. Rushing went to Mount Vernon 197 to 166. Passing was all Mount Carmel 203 to 53. Total yards all Mount Carmel 370 to 250. However, final score was Mount Vernon by a score of 35-29.
Unbelievable finish for the Rams, 6-3. The Aces finish 8-1, and of course, both teams are headed for the playoffs. Both teams will find out their destinies tomorrow night. Of course, the Rams are having a selection show gathering. You can watch the selection show in the auditorium. Free of charge, of course. The Mount Vernon Rams Gridiron Club putting that on. 7:45 is when the doors will open tomorrow night. Come on out, support the Rams. Find out whom they will play tomorrow night as they watch, and you'll all celebrate together. That's tomorrow night at the MVTHS Auditorium. Come on out, support it. 7:45 tomorrow. Of course, that's going to take care of this segment of the Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show. We'll take another break. We'll come back. We'll get you your scoreboard wrap-up. We'll do it like no one else. And we'll also get you a player of the game. This is Rams football from WMIX Sports.
Backaches, bad hips, rickety knees? Why not try aquatic therapy? The Red Lake College Aquatic Center has more than a swimming pool. Try a 6-lane, 75-foot lap pool, along with a whirlpool 10 feet in diameter and a 10-foot by 20 hydrotherapy pool. Aquatic therapy is very affordable. In many cases, the tuition is waived entirely. With special access and dressing areas for the elderly and physically challenged, getting in the water is easy. Experts are on hand to assist with various areas of aquatic fitness and rehab. Call 437-5321, extension 1207, or visit rlc.edu.
Here's Jeff Schmidt for Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon.
The 2014 Impala, I can't say enough about this car. It is such a beautiful car, and the people that drive them are just so happy with the performance, the luxury, the ride and drive. They are so quiet. They compare them to more of the luxury import cars, and the style of the new Impala is second to none, and it's really a beautiful car.
Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon.
Broadcasting live from the WMIX mobile studios, driven by Ford Square. This is Mount Vernon Rams football.
And, of course, we do welcome you back to your Schmidt Chevrolet postgame show from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium, of course. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside on WMIX, WMIX-FM, Mount Vernon, Marion, Effingham. A free service from Withers Broadcasting tonight as we've hit the top of the 10 o'clock hour. We're so glad you could join us as the Rams upset the Mount Carmel Golden Aces 35-29. Of course, before we get to our final scoreboard update, we'll give you our player of the game tonight. I think you got to go players. One, your defense was outstanding when they needed to be tonight. And C.J. Lloyd was big when he needed to be as well. And I just think you have some sort of variation out of all of those guys have to be your players of the game.
Total effort. And that's what you needed tonight. And the defense stepped up so big on the last fourth quarter, making some plays. And you know, you had a running back go out of bounds, and that stopped the clock. You had a lot of things go kind of against you and kept chance after chance for a good Mount Carmel team. And, boy, Mount Vernon pulls it out, 8 to go to 6-3. They win 35-29. Mount Carmel drops to 8-1. And that loss there may hurt them more than they know, because that could be a seed in 3A, talking to some people that a very tough 3A quadrant down here, or 1-16 either way.
Well, certainly no doubt about that, as we're working to get you the final scores from around the area here tonight. Of course, we have an amazing list of finals for you, brought to you by Tony Wilt, State Farm Insurance.
Well, here we go. It was Rochester over Jacksonville, 49-24. Altoff trailed Triad late, 35-34. That one's a barn burner going down to the wire. It is Carbondale beating Harrisburg 42-14 as Carbondale knocks Harrisburg out of the playoff hunt. Mascoutah goes into Centralia and beats the Orphans 44-7. Centralia out of the playoffs. They go 4-5. Marion beats Normandy out of St. Louis 62-12 at home. It was Carmel, we'll go Black Diamond now, by the way, beats CZR by a score of 56-30. Yeah, that was on the road. Fairfield stopped the big, long winning streak of the Chester Yellow Jackets in the Black Diamond Conference, win by a score of 36-32. It was Johnston City beating Hamilton County 27-2, and Alvarado Trico gets a win tonight. They beat SVWW by a score of 40-30. Alvarado Trico gets their first win of the season. Flipping over now to the Ohio Division, some of those games are river to river Mississippi as well. It was Carlisle shutting out Benton 31-0. Rangers out of the playoff hunt. Heron over AJ 42-14. Tigers go to 7-2 on the year. Massac County leads Ballard County, Kentucky late by a score of 41-27 as a lot of teams needing points from Massac County. Murfreesboro has a winning season for the first time since 1999. They beat DuQuoin 21-0. Carterville all over West Frankfort 50-16. Carterville undefeated this year. West Frankfort winless. Nashville lost to Columbia at home 42-14. Pinckneyville beat DuPont 21-16. Now hang on to your geography hats. I have scores from everywhere now. Breeze Mater Dei beat Waterloo on the road 28-13. It was Olney over Cumberland 35-15. Muhammad Seymour beat Effingham by a score of 40-6. Lawrenceville over Red Hill 36-8. Paris over Newton 37-21. Freeburg over Salem 15-13. Greenville, there's a team in 3A people have to be aware of, beat Vandalia tonight 63-34. Back on the other page, Highland goes to 9-0. They could be 4A, they could be 5A. They beat Charleston tonight 56-0. We know Mater Dei beat Waterloo on the road. It was also Casey Westfield beating Marshall 41-14 as those scores all around Southern Illinois and around from here to there and everywhere that have playoff implications galore.
There you go, and it's all brought to you by your State Farm agent at Mount Vernon, Tony Wilt, on the corner of 42nd and South Water Tower. Online at TonyWilt.com or give him a call. Of course, you can find the white State Farm Jeep around town. As the regular season, of course, comes to a close, the Rams finish at 6-3. Mount Carmel finishes at 8-1. We appreciate the patronage, of course, of Community First Bank of the Heartland, the official voice of the Rams and Lady Rams all season long into the playoffs, as the Rams will find out who they play tomorrow night. Of course, 7:45 tomorrow night in the auditorium if you want to come out and join. Cape Central beat Festus. That's a big one. That's important. That's where there's broadcasting implications.
Yes, they play good football down there.
Yes, they do.
Quincy
Alma Mater is very important to this company.
46-7.
So there you go.
Nothing else.
This has been your Schmidt Chevrolet post-game show. That's going to do it for us tonight. For Danny Czerwinski, for Jeff Crow, for Holly Carroll, back to the studio for everyone at WMIX Sports. I'm Chris Hugo, thanking you for listening to us and watching us tonight on the various outlets. A reminder of the final score: the Mount Vernon Rams 35, the Mount Carmel Golden Aces 29. The Rams are playoff bound at 6-3. Stay tuned tomorrow to the Saturday Sports Show on AM 940 and WMIXSports.com. We'll have statewide scores. We'll also have a full gamut of interviews and content unlike anywhere else. Tomorrow on AM 940 and WMIXSports.com. For all of that, good night.
You've been listening to Mount Vernon Rams football on WMIX and WMIXSports.com. Rams football is sponsored by Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to personal banking. Rams football has also been sponsored by the Medicine Shop of Mount Vernon, Ford Square and King City Chrysler. You can count on us. Red Lake College. Save thousands on your college education. Log on to edu. State Farm Insurance Agent Tony Wilt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Second Chance Auto on Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Van Sarah Bank. Good Samaritan Regional Health Center. Raising a hospital. Raising the bar. Winning Edge. Schmidt Ford of Salem. And also by the Orthopedic Center in Southern Illinois. Landers Collision Centers of Mount Vernon and Salem. Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon. All Stars and Stitches. Central Christian Church, and People's National Bank. Stay in the game on Twitter. Follow us at WMIX Sports or log on to WMIXSports.com. Now back to America's best music on WMIX.